Yo. Start it up.
Yo, what's up, man?
What up? Wait, am I being cut off? I feel like I'm being cut off
you?
a little. I don't know. Like with this stand.
Your phone's on Do Not Disturb?
Yeah.
Abdalla?
Yes.
I'm making sure I ain't got my other phone.
I ain't got my phone. Nobody
single
texted
Abdalla
me.
is a different nigga, son. Single
talk
Abdalla, he in these streets, man.
Word.
I don't know what you're
He in these streets. He don't. Anytime I bring it up on the podcast, he like to speed by it. He don't want to talk about because he know his bitches probably watching podcasts. He don't want them to see the episodes and shit. And I understand that. Cause I mean,
women, not bitches.
The demand is up there.
Look, I understand.
No, I wouldn't say so.
I understand because when shit come by with me, I'll be like, yeah, next topic. I don't want, you know what I'm saying, too much attention.
Exactly. Makes shit spicy.
But welcome back, man. No, I'm talking to you.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Terry. Oh, welcome back to the club.
Welcome back to the Freedom Shop.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You single right now too?
Oh yeah. Very single.
Yo, we gotta. I mean, this is not on air, but like I know you be busy. Your schedule crazy.
A little bit.
And you live in
the Bronx.
The Bronx.
It's like Mount Vernon area.
Well, I used to live in Mount Vernon, but now I live in the Bronx. I live in Co-op City.
Okay, I have no idea what that is.
I heard about it. That's all I know.
That's where we went to that the vegan fest thing.
Okay, that's Co-op City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause we was just in Mount Vernon for my cousins. We visited my cousin up there, and I understand. Look, I understand.
Why niggas don't travel out
to come to even to the city.
No, it's
like
it's
where he lived is no train.
Really.
You got to walk to a bus. Like
fucking tolls.
It's tough.
If you driving.
It's
both ways.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy up there, and the rent is still high. I'm thinking like, you live in the Bronx. Your shit kind of low because it's the Bronx is like on some Thailand shit. It's a little rough up there. You know what I'm saying?
on some elephant graveyard and Lion King shit.
The Bronx, certain parts of the Bronx look like the slums of Thailand.
No, and I get you. I be in the Bronx. I work in the South Bronx. But here's the thing: I'm from New Jersey.
South Bronx.
So I'm laughing because the Bronx and Brooklyn thing is a back and forth. But I asked, I'm like, yo, y'all just be like this because that troop, like y'all don't want to go up there and they don't want to come down here. That's all it is,
bro. He'd tell you, I used to be in the Bronx for WV. Like I used to be in a company on network marketing, and I used to have to do presentations up in the Bronx because my team was up there. I live in East New York. They was in Fordham. That's like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. I was going there every night, coming home at like 1.
I believe it.
So trust me, I know I was not enjoying that shit, but I had to be done. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do what I gotta do.
They do have pretty women though. They do have really appealing women.
It's a lot. If the
I would have
environment,
AIDS if I lived in the Bronx. I know this. Like
that's how we started. I love it.
I seen some women. Every time I go to the Bronx, I'm like,
wait, are we already started? Is it already?
Hey, shit, fuck it.
All right. Look, before I do the real intro, I just want to say that's a fact though. The Bronx do have a lot of beautiful women.
Wait, it's a fact that you would have AIDS, or they have a lot of beautiful women.
Both.
Because okay.
Nah, look.
Yeah, I concur.
Our neighborhood in East New York is trash.
Word?
It's trash. I'm not. Look, if you live in East New York and you're a woman, it's trash.
I've seen some gems. I've seen some diamonds.
What, like once every 45 days?
That's still not bad though.
That's a horrible ratio.
Gems, though.
That's a month and a half, bro.
Bro, when I used to be in the Bronx, literally, the area was kind of ratchet, but that's not the discussion right now.
Yeah,
the discussion is how they look.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I went to the Bronx, I've consistently seen beautiful women.
Yeah.
Whether they was black, mostly Hispanic.
Yeah, mostly.
I'll be fair. But over here is like
mostly gargoyles.
it's like crackheads around here, man. It's what it is. You walk to the L train on Sutter, and you walk down that strip on Sutter, and it feel like it's fucking Walking Dead, son.
Yeah.
But yo, welcome back, Terry Mak.
Welcome back,
my guy.
Brother.
I'm glad to be here.
For sure.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a minute, man. It's been we are about to be in November. The last time we had you was on I think it was April.
I can't remember the month.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it's around April. It's been a minute, man. You got a lot of things going on. Welcome back once again.
Congratulations on the new album.
Facts.
Thank you. Before we start, I want to give y'all flowers and say one, I'm a big fan of the production that y'all been doing with this and the individual productions that y'all started. So I want to give that to y'all. One, because one, I'm a creative, so I champion people's like passions. And two, I like people who execute. You feel me? And I see y'all executing. So just letting you know that y'all are seen. You feel me?
Appreciate that. We definitely appreciate that. Because, you know, a lot of folks don't get their flowers. And plus, I mean, the flowers, we're going to get them over time. But
when you in the weeds,
I really appreciate that you notice that, because we are up in the production. We've been adding a couple things. We're going to start filming a couple more things. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got views. I got Nico's talks. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that for sure.
Got it.
But my guy, man, your album just dropped recently, man. How you feel?
I feel good.
Well too.
I feel good. I mean well too. Are you still down? It was a chapter that needed to be closed. I feel good because it's out. But I'm focused on what's next. I feel like I needed to put it out just to get that part of my life, like take what I needed from it and close that chapter. And I'm happy like I have updated music so people can understand like the level of music that I can make. So I'm getting good reception.
It's like One-Eyed Kitty.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
That's my shit, bro. I be driving around to that shit like I
Remember
just
that
heard
video
it.
I posted? Yeah, man.
And I got more like that coming. But as far as the project, I'm just happy because it took a lot. It took a lot to get it out. Even when it was supposed to drop, they messed up my release. So the title was wrong. So that kind of stagnated stuff. But I didn't even look at it like it was a bad thing. I'm just like, yo, it just shows like this was important because it was like so many hurdles to get over to put it out. So
with anything that I do, it gotta be down to the T. Like detail, like little meticulous details, shit matter when you really care. When you don't really care about it, it's like, all right, put it out. I just want it to be put out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like, now that it's finally out, you said that it's a chapter closed. So what's this new chapter that you're embarking on? 'Cause I mean, it's your first album. You feel like
second album.
Yeah. I don't even really consider
second album?
I don't even consider this. This is part 2, but I don't even consider both of those albums for real. They're kind of just mixtapes projects. Cause I didn't really put like, I put time and investment to it, but I didn't put album level time and investment to it. I feel like if I'm making an album, I might block out 2 years. And like, this is what I'm focused on.
On some J. Cole shit.
Yeah.
On some Kendrick shit.
Yeah. So, but they're I just call them projects. Today, everything's confusing. Everybody got mixtape projects, EP.
Yeah, I just call them compilations.
What is really an album compared to a mixtape? Because before, mixtapes was something you wasn't making money off of.
Yeah.
But now there's streams.
Yeah.
And before, albums was something that was like, all right, you produce it yourself. Well, not yourself, but like you got like your own beats. There's like, you invested more money into it. But like, really, what does that mean now?
It's everything is kind of intertwined because of the streaming age. Because before with mixtapes, if you had to download somebody's mixtape, you know what I mean? But now if everything is digital, it's like, all right, the lines are blurred. Even with EPs, people be putting out EPs, but they be the length of an album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
and vice versa.
Yeah, people be putting out albums and they be kind of short as an EP.
Like 7 songs, like Kanye West. Pusha T, Nas, Tiana, all they shit was like 7 songs.
And I feel like with people's attention spans now, that's like a good little pocket. I think 7 to 10 is cool.
Yeah. But then you also got niggas like Chris Brown that released 45 songs and that shit go crazy.
And that's a move though. That's a calculated move as far as with how streaming
Exactly.
So it's all like everybody's learning right now. Even the labels is learning because the labels didn't really anticipate all of this stuff happening. So a lot of times they don't really know what they're doing. They just have a bag, so they can put bags behind things, but they playing trial and error too.
Right.
Yeah. So with me, I'm just like I name it as far as like the length or the what I put into it. An album. If I say I got an album coming,
we know
you might not see me for 2 years.
Yeah. Because you're gonna be in the stew.
I might be in the stew for 2 years straight. I might have a song that I've been sitting on for a year and a half that I got to go in on a production or I got to change something. I might have 300 songs recorded.
Damn.
Because that's how people's albums, like, the level of investment that goes
Yeah,
into
you just
it.
hand choose.
'Cause I remember I was watching a Meek interview, and he said he had like 200, 300 songs recorded for his last album. And I be having that amount of music recorded, but not intentionally for one project. So I feel like if I'm working on albums, like these next 2 years, everything is intentional for this project, whether it's the concept or the sound or the production. Now I'm kind of just like, I'm a rising artist. I won't say up and coming. I'm rising. I never call myself an up and coming artist.
Right.
But as I rise and gain like my community of people who support, I'm also keeping in mind like attention span. So I'm probably like,
That's
I'm a
a
new
big thing.
artist. I'm not gonna put out a 20-track project because you don't know me.
Right.
But if I have a song that you like, all right, it's like I like this dude. I might listen to him. And I have another song that you like.
Yeah.
Then I have 4 songs you like, 4 singles. Then you might check out a 7-song project because I'm consistent for 5 songs.
Right.
So to bring it back to this year, like I tweeted the other day, I said this year was kind of like an advertiser. It was trial and error to see what works for me because I was out of music for 2 years. When I was doing music before, like I was still selling CDs. Like,
Right.
you know, I was still doing stuff as far as streaming, but I was still one foot in digital, 1 foot like on the ground. So now with just learning the digital space.
What's your thoughts on streaming versus hard copy? Because I know that with streaming, like, it depends on the platform, but they give you like a very small decimal. And I mean, for folks that you know, that album sales are not really selling them, the streaming may be beneficial, but it's like you're also still like, it's also a downside. You're also getting like 0.00085% per stream. You gotta get like a fucking million streams to get like 1,000 sales equivalent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah, depending on the platform. There's pros and cons to it. I think it's all about what you want out of it. You feel me? Because the pro is exposure and you're direct to consumer. When people were selling CDs, you had to pull people out to a store. They had to leave their home
And be willing to buy.
to go and pay for a CD for like $15.
Or you gotta buy it in bulk.
That they don't even know if they gonna like.
$15. Now you pay
Yeah.
$5 a month. Pay
Exactly.
$10 a month. Stream one song if you like it.
Yeah.
But one of the hardest part is in the creative space. And y'all see it with social media, everything. It's so saturated. So now people's attention spans.
Super.
So it plays both sides because a person can, all right, you have a project, they might stream 1 or 2 songs. I like it. But their level, their time period to evaluate and invest is shorter. Because all right, they're focused on this, but they also have their favorite influencer or their favorite like YouTube couple or 100 other artists that they listen to. So it's just pros and cons. As a rising artist, like I see the value in building just different communities on different platforms and then trying to transfer that to something that's a standalone. Cause say Spotify goes down or say YouTube goes down or Instagram goes down, a lot of us creators are kind of like shit out of luck.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because our brands is most prominent on those platforms.
On in a social space. But it's like, how can you transfer that to, all right, people will come and see me now.
Manual hustle, yeah.
Exactly. So that's why you kind of have to have that in there somewhere. Some people is lit on the internet and they can't sell a T-shirt or merch and they can't sell out a
That
show.
happened recently. That happened. I forgot the girl's name. It was a big story.
I know exactly who you're talking
It
about.
was a white girl. She had like, I don't know. I never know who she is to this day.
I think
she
I
probably
heard
got like
about the
2
name.
to 5 million in that range, and she was selling T-shirts. She barely sold 100.
Yeah.
And it was a big story. Like, you got all these followers. It seemed like you didn't buy them because you got the likes, I suppose, but nobody's supporting your shit.
Yeah.
So, like, what is it really for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like, what are the people who follow you? What are they invested to as far as your brand?
Right.
It's like that person can have 2 million followers, only sell like 50 shirts, but you can have somebody who has 1,000 followers and they will all pay for their merch. They will all come out to their show. So, all right, you could survive off of that. So it's just really what you're in it for. You know what I mean? Some people want the accolades and want the larger number. I'd rather people who support and like resonate with what I'm doing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Even with this platform, you got people who resonate with what y'all talk about.
Yeah.
On a deeper level, or people who just support because it's like something cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you take it all in stride, but it's all like based on what you want out of it.
That's a piece of Instagram and this social media shit that I've been trying to figure out. Cause it's big talks about like the algorithm changing and how do you get the attention. Cause sometimes you'll post a picture and it'll get fucking 300 likes quick. And then you'll post a fire one and it'll get like 89.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously people not seeing it. It's not that like, it's not fire. It's just like Instagram's literally not showing it until 2 days later.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. So what I've been trying to figure out is like, how the fuck do I get like, how do I translate this 3,000 followers to more views, more clicks? Cause it's folks that I know, like my boys Tossy and Andy, and fucking Ness, where they only got like maybe like 1,500 followers, but they'll throw a platinum jam party and it'd be packed with like 500 people. A lot of niggas can't do that. It's a guy named I forgot his name, but he only probably got like 2,000 followers on Twitter, and he throw parties and his shit, it'll shake the whole city up. But then you got niggas with 10K that can't fill out a room. You know what I'm saying? Always niggas like my boy P and Kami. But like
thinking
they platform is building. They got like 26,000 on Instagram, but they throw a game night that's consistent with like 600 people every single month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out myself, like, how do we take this fucking brand that we got? Because I have a decent amount of followers. 3K is decent. It's more than average, but how do I translate that? That's a constant thing I'm trying to like study, just like think, because the shit ain't, it's a certain niche that niggas haven't figured out yet that some people has. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's just, I was talking to an artist the other day that I'm acquainted with. He was shooting a video. I pulled up and he was basically saying the same thing. I'm like, yo, it's kind of just staying the course. Cause you gotta think about it. You want like a cult following. People are invested to support him, right?
Yeah.
So you can look lit online quick.
Yeah.
You can do there's a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Right? But then that's just fluff. That's not an actual it's not a tangible thing. So it's staying the course and it's like adding value to like other people. So they want like whether they just like you, they like your brand, whether it's like they like you, how you dress, your waves, or what you talk about, you know what I mean? They're invested in you as a brand. So then that support continues to build up. Then if you exchange and you show investment in other people, because you want to support people who you want supporting you.
Support is free.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You support other people that you like actually genuinely like support what they doing. It just builds up that network. That's how I've seen it work for me. I know plenty of people like who really all they do is really post pictures, whether it's women like just post pictures and like in clothes or whatever, but they have a lot of followers. Yeah. But I'm like, all right, maybe people are just invested in seeing them. Yeah. That's cool.
See, it's different with the women though.
It's different. Cause
niggas is going to click, niggas going to double tap that booty.
But break it down to the science, right? It's an exchange of something for something, right?
Supply and demand.
So they got what they wanted. Now what you are trying to deliver is not as simple as an ass.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a little.
It's not as
easily accessible.
Exactly. Right.
As an ass.
Right.
So women that get followers because like, all right, I like to look at ass. She likes to show ass.
Right. It's
supply
simple.
Demand.
Yeah.
Supply demand.
Yeah. Us was a little more complex, even down to music. Like,
exactly.
All right, do I like his cadence? Do I like his beats? Do I like what they talk about? Their topic? Do I like the way they look? Do I like their format? The quality? Girl, all right. She got a fat ass. Follow.
Easy.
She look good. Follow.
You don't even know her name.
Right. You don't know. You don't
even know where she lives.
Nothing about her. And you know for a fact you never gonna probably meet her. Don't matter. She look good.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's all about, like you said, it's staying the course. And what I see it as right now too is like, it's all about content. So if I know my facts of the weeks are 100% true, if I know the topics me and Dominique supply every week is, you know, we got them from reliable sources and we did our due diligence. We read up on these articles. We know what we're talking about. Genuine people are going to gravitate. who are interested in this type of content, while others who are interested in like reality TV content will just won't. It's like water on a duck's back,
or like
it's
gossip
like,
and shit like that. Yeah,
I'm not interested. So I really don't like when people ask me like how many views we get, how many listens we get on a week. I dead ass, I don't pay attention to the numbers, because if I pay attention to the numbers in terms of like in terms of me internalizing it, I'm gonna be on some like, yo, we whack. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you're
that's
comparing it to other folks.
I'm comparing it to Joe Rogan Experience. I'm comparing it to Breakfast Club. I'm comparing to all these shows that I see on like, I hold in high reverence.
Right.
But in reality, it's like I also look at it like this: like I would drop a fact of the week, or I may mention something, or Dominique may mention something, and 2 weeks later I would hear Tariq Nasheed mention it on his newest episode. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
Another dude I subscribe to is Lance Scurv show. This Jamaican dude, his name is Brother Keston. His African name is Kwaku. I would hear him talk about some certain things from like meditation or life experiences, and I'm like, yo, I mentioned this months ago. Not in terms of like I'm not mentioning this in terms of like me competing or myself comparing myself to being on the same stature, mentally, intellectually. None of this. It's just that I know I'm living my truth. I know I'm living my purpose because I'm passionate. Like I mentioned this on the first episode of Views. I'm passionate about researching. I'm passionate about bringing the truth to light and shit. You know what I'm saying? Raising the consciousness in my people. Yeah. Growing, learning. You know what I'm saying? These are some of my passions, but these are some of the main passions that I have. So when I have conversations like this, like I'm fully engulfed in the conversation. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So as far as, of course, there's certain things, strategies we can implement. Like a lot of people are fucking with the new promos. You know what I'm saying?
I am included. Yeah. I don't know if I hit
you hit,
I was like, those are
and
fire.
You hit me and I was like, yo, thank Dominique for all of that. That's him. But of course it's certain things anybody could implement and utilize to, grow their business, grow their platform, brand, whatever, brand, content. But at the same time, it's like, don't lose or deviate from that essence that you genuinely have.
That's a fact. You could do all the little animations you want if this shit is whack.
Exactly. You can have the best production, but you turn us on and we talking about Scooby-Doo. we talking
bullshit. Yeah, resonate.
People gonna be like, what the hell? This is
all the animations and all the extra quality shit is just an enhancement.
Exactly. It's just to captivate.
It's just the extra frosting on the cake to make shit seem more pretty. Because I know what pops people's eyes.
Exactly.
I'm a content consumer. I know that when I go on YouTube and I see content, I know that if I see this, I know that they really putting some thought behind this. This ain't just like, we just pushing it out. You know what I'm saying? Versus if you just put it out, I'm like, all right, the content is dope, but it's like, I want to know that the people that's behind it is really giving their best effort. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I put the animation, because I know that this is what it takes. Like, this is like the thing that's going to make it pop for certain people. Certain people, they don't really care, but the masses, they going to care. But the content got to be dope.
Exactly.
You can't talk bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, what I'm getting at too is like, eventually it's going to become where both be dope. Yeah. Your content has to be dope and your marketing strategies has to be captivating. It has to be, some thought, some essence behind it. Right. Because it's like, people gonna pick. They gonna nitpick.
Gotta be a full package.
Exactly.
Yeah. You gotta be a full package.
Yeah, man.
That's what you got? Let's touch on Joker. Before we get into, cause I feel like Joker, it's a movie, but it's my type of movie where I get to deep dive into shit. like Joker, fucking Get Out, Us, even Black Panther. Like, I watch it for entertainment because I like movies. I go movies by myself after work just for my own enjoyment. But I'll be sitting there like, why he said that way?
Yeah.
Why he walked in a room? You know what I'm saying? And y'all as well. So you didn't see it.
No.
We about to spoil it for you. You
It's
don't
all
care
good.
though.
Again.
What time is it? I'm gonna put it in the description.
I was gonna hit you up yesterday. I actually watched it yesterday.
Yesterday?
Did you?
Yeah.
I seen it twice. I seen it like I think the day after it came out, or like the first day it came out, and I seen it last week with Cass.
Okay. Shout out to Cass.
Yeah, I always see movies like that twice because it's always something I'm gonna miss. I seen Get Out like 4 times because I enjoyed it. 1, because it was a black movie. 2, and because I know I missed some shit. But spoiler alert, you know, whoever about to watch it, you ain't see it yet, I'm gonna put in the description when this whole shit gonna end. So, but what was your thoughts on it, man? I really enjoyed it.
It was cool.
Yeah, I'm not like a Joker fan. I don't read comic books. I'm not a big Batman fan.
I like Batman. I like Batman. Way better than Spider-Man.
Batman and Spider-Man are my two favorites.
Yeah, Spider-Man is my favorite.
I feel like if you mix them two, you get me.
Oh, Spider-Man is whack. I like saying that to see how people react. I mean, to each his own, of course. This is my subjective.
Spider-Man heavy.
Spider-Man is cool. Like the game.
I fuck with him
cool,
heavy.
But
why is Spider-Man whack?
Huh?
Why I'm like I don't.
Why is Spider-Man?
Why is he whack to you?
He's. When I say whack, I don't mean like he's trash in terms of moves and all of that, but it's like he don't really do hot shit to me.
What?
To me. I mean, of course, when he flipped, that's cool. Like when he's swinging and then he loose and do like backflips and then he just shoots another one.
You know why I fuck with Spider-Man? Sorry to cut you off. Not sorry to cut you off.
It's like Batman.
Go.
Batman is like
Spider-Man. A lot of folks don't know Spider-Man's low key a genius too. Like he's mad smart.
Yeah,
and he ain't the strongest guy, but
he
be like he figures shit out. Like he on some like Iron Man shit too. Like. He ain't the strongest, but he does a lot with what he got. And how can I say, like,
he's very tactical.
Not like I resonate with like, because he's still young and like he's like a young kid surrounded by all these adults that got all these big powers and they so mature and shit, but he still get the job done. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he not on some like he taking care of like New York City. Like he not on some taking care of the world shit. That's cool. He making sure that
hometown hero.
The small people was good. He take care of the little niggas, you know what I'm saying? Which I like because everybody can't take care of the world, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He take care of the small detail shit first. That's what I like.
But to even add with that, because I'm a big comic book. I used to read like comic book encyclopedias and everything. I was that type.
You was a nerd.
No, I am a nerd. I got out of that.
I'm a nerd. Ain't nothing wrong with comic books.
No. I was a nerd until
we read mangas and shit. Yeah. So we right there.
Mangas,
Naruto. Like the coolest people be into that shit.
That's a fact.
The coolest people be nerds for real.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
But with Spider-Man though, he is for his size. Like so with spiders for their size, they're really strong.
Yeah,
so Spider-Man is strong. He was stopping trains and stuff in the movies. Like, but that is like. So I feel like Spider-Man, his mind and like the things that he does is like goes disregarded based off of just the optics of what he's doing. Like he's swinging around, but like he's thinking, and with the Spidey sense, he's seeing things come before
his instincts and shit.
Yeah, he's like he's dodging buildings that's falling. Like that's crazy. But Batman, I think Batman for me edges him out because Batman is the greatest detective of all time. And he's turned his trauma and his pain into a purpose. Yeah. And I feel like that aligns with a lot of people and with me. Yeah. He still be like depressed as hell in that big ass house. Like
single and shit. Yeah.
Single just
all that shit don't mean nothing.
It don't.
Living with a nigga.
You know what I'm saying? All that shit don't mean what you said?
I said living with a nigga.
He be canceling dates to go out and fight crime. I'm like,
I ain't gonna front one thing and I don't want to go off a technical because we're gonna get the Joker. Yeah. But I think I was in the shower. I always have my deeper thoughts in the shower.
Always thinking about niggas naked.
Nah. I was in the shower and I was thinking to myself.
That's not surprising, by the way. Not to cut you off. That's not surprising, though.
Nah, the shower.
That was a form of like meditation.
Yeah, and like even when I have like an interview playing in the shot because my phone sits on the rack. Like it's in the background, but I'm not hearing it. When I'm thinking my deepest thoughts, I'm not hearing it. It's just like background music type shit.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the other day, either I was in the shower or I was in my room, just like I guess you would say my form of meditating. You would say, and somebody posted something on Twitter, and I was like, you know what, like. Most of the things that we are accustomed to liking and like really feel like we need is really based off vanity and ego.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to women, the reason why I want to fuck the baddest bitch is not because she gonna make me feel good, like really make my soul feel pure. It's because I know fucking her and seeing her ass is fat, it's gonna boost my ego. Like, yo, I'm really fucking this bitch. That's what it does for me. The reason why sometimes when I look on TV, it's like, yo, that Lambo, I would look nice in that Lambo. It's vanity, like, I don't have my license, but I want to have that car because why? Because it's fat, because it's a nice car.
It's appealing, yeah.
But the thing with Batman's how he still be depressed in that house because the house don't really bring no fulfillment. If it's nobody in it that's bringing you fulfillment.
And that's why he do the vigilante work.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what helps him because it's like, I wish this is what I posit. It's like in the back of his mind, it's like, I wish there was a Batman that could have potentially came in that alley and saved my parents.
Right.
Exactly.
That's all it is. So he's like, I'm potentially saving, hundreds of people's,
hundreds of thousands
from feeling like I'm feeling and or from dying.
Right.
Even if they don't have a family, or surviving family member that may be going through grief like I'm grieving.
Right.
But and Batman is in all black. That's another plus.
Yeah.
But my favorite superheroes, I would say like Batman, Black Panther, of course, Green Lantern. I like Green Lantern.
Yeah.
It's like I have nothing like Spider-Man. He's not whack. That's just me talking my shit. Like, that nigga whack. But it's like he don't really, he don't
really do it for you.
He don't do hot shit for me. Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
But back to Joker though. It was a cool movie.
What did you take away from it?
I noticed a lot of symbolism in the movie. And I was questioning certain things. It's like, first of all, this nigga is not that attractive. Why is this nice Spanish woman messing with him? No, I'm playing. Because she really wasn't messing with him. Yeah. I had a feeling he was making that shit up.
No, but I didn't catch it until the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know.
Sure, it's a girl
that lives in his building.
Lives in his building who
attractive.
Who the elevator shit was real. It was legit. Yeah. Like that was legit.
Yeah.
But she is like his not lover, but like
neighbor. She's just
his love interest.
Okay.
But in his mind though, but throughout the whole movie, I didn't realize that it was all through his mind.
Yeah.
But somebody pointed out, she was like, the point that I realized that she wasn't real and was a figment of his imagination was she was saying everything that he would want her to say.
Yeah.
Like she was doing everything that was aligned with what he wanted her to do. I didn't really I'm like, this bitch is bad and he's a weirdo.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is she with this nigga?
I'm like, first of all, this nigga's
exactly.
Crazy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was like on some Norman Bates type shit.
Right.
And Fight Club. But
I was just about to say that. Fight Club. Yeah.
That's exactly how they depicted it too, because it's like, you remember that part in Fight Club where he was fighting Brad Pitt, and that was one, and then Brad Pitt was smashing that other chick in the house. All those parts, like after all of them transpired, towards the end when he realized like all of it was in his head, it was like he was smashing the chick. Yeah. He was punching himself, and that's how they showed it in the Joker movie.
True.
It's like he's sitting by his mom's bed in the hospital, and the chick rubbed his shoulders and offered him coffee. But when they showed it again, it's like it's just him.
Yeah.
So,
but that's very telling though, because he wasn't. We're gonna be all over the place, but he wasn't mentally like he was dealing with depression. He was dealing with anxiety. He was dealing with
trauma, PTSD.
PTSD, trauma. He was dealing with he had a moment in the movie that was very pivotal. The woman asked him, she was like,
The black woman, right?
Yeah, his I want to say like his
therapist.
It wasn't a therapist.
Like, in a sense,
his social worker, I would say, because a therapist, it was type of setting. It was kind of like a government issued thing. It was kind of like a psychiatrist. Kind of, you could say, more like social worker. But she said something to him, and he was like, "All I have is negative thoughts," and that part was kind of like, I don't know, it kind of like fucked me up a little bit, because he had points in the movie where he was like, I've never been happy one point in my life, where he was sitting next to his mom, where he's about to fucking like smother her and shit. Some crazy shit. And then he was like, once he killed his mom, he was like, I'm finally experiencing happiness on like a big level. I've never been happy my whole life. I've always been like in a bad mindset. I've always had negative thoughts. And then it's like, once he kind of like killed that burden that was hanging over him, because like he had to take care of his mom and shit, and then like his whole life was a lie. He ended up being adopted.
Yeah, that's the
like,
main thing.
Yeah, he thought like Bruce Wayne was his father. I mean,
Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne. It's like the whole movie, he was thinking that like he was taking care of his mom. His mom was like his pride and joy. You know what I'm saying? All along, his mom was one of the biggest sources of negativity in his life.
And caused him to be
even
mentally
since young.
ill.
You know what I'm saying? And like once
herself.
he destroyed that, it's like he no longer was
puppeteered in a sense.
Right. And he didn't have like that lack of confidence. He wasn't even moving with anxiety no more. It seemed like he came into himself. He was walking with swag. He had a cigarette. He was, you know what I'm saying? That was very telling to me.
Yeah. I noticed that too.
Those parts. You know what I'm saying? My biggest takeaway, you say your big takeaway already? Like your biggest takeaway. Because I really enjoyed the ending. I'm not even mad at what he became.
You go first.
So basically, the movie really had me view society like from like a helicopter like standpoint, like looking over it like
GTA 1.
Right. Right, because the things he was saying about Thomas Wayne, for those that don't know, this movie wasn't based off of any comic book. It was his own freshly written Joker.
Just standalone.
And apparently Thomas Wayne, in the comic book, he was revered as a great man. He wasn't how he was depicted in the movie. In the movie, he was a rich asshole. He looked down upon the lower middle class. He was all about rich. You know what I'm saying? So in the movie, when he was saying things about Thomas Wayne, and when he went on the show with what's the actor name?
Robert De Niro.
That's my guy. Robert De Niro. And he was like, you guys in society, like he said, do you ever just walk outside and see how it feels to be somebody like me? Do you ever step out of your shell of being this celebrity, this high figure? Have you ever even had a thought of what it feels like to be someone like me, someone at the bottom, someone that's not rich, someone that's has trauma, someone that does who live in the projects, who gets jumped because I don't have security or type of shit. And I was thinking like, this is gonna be like some revolution type shit in society if the government don't straighten up. That's how I feel. Yeah. Because it's always been about the rich in society. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and the middle class is being dispersed. It's either you're gonna be poor or you're gonna be rich. That's how society is going. And it's like, if you don't have the means to do certain things, nobody gives a fuck about you. You can't get into certain venues. If you don't have the money to get healthcare, you asked out. You asked out. Your mom got cancer, you can't pay for it. Nobody's giving you a hospital bed unless you getting donations. You know what I'm saying? And that could cause people to go crazy. And we already live in a society where mental illness is a big thing. Prevalent. It's being spoken about more, but mental illness been a thing. Yeah. Niggas been dealing with PTSD in the hood. Not just in Hamptons, not just in these white communities. Not like niggas in the hood is dealing with PTSD because our homeboys getting killed and niggas getting arrested by the cops every day. Us, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I deal with that shit walking past the precinct every day from the L train. I'm walking straight. I got my hands in my pockets. I turn the block, put my hands out. Because I don't want niggas saying nothing to me. I'm walking straight, you know what I'm saying? So in the movie, seeing that and like seeing how his life played out and seeing how like what he became at the end, I wasn't even upset. I'm like, y'all niggas created this monster. And then it riled up the whole society. He was like the champion at the end. They he got into a car accident because he got arrested for killing a guy on the show or whatever. And then it was a bunch of people walking around with Joker masks, and they pulled him out the car, and he was like their king.
And he
stood on top of the car while it was a big ass riot. The cops was getting killed or whatever. Thomas Wayne just got shot. So it's like, these are the niggas y'all created, because y'all don't think this is a big deal. You don't think that ignoring this part of society is gonna have a type of backlash. It's coming. I'm telling you right now, like in this society, fuck the comic books. It's coming in this society. Niggas gonna get fed up. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what Tupac was saying.
I was just about to say
Thug
that,
life.
bro. You gotta stop doing that. You gotta stop doing that, bro.
This nigga's a mind reader.
But yeah, I was gonna say that just reminds me of Tupac. He said America eats its babies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or the rose that grew from concrete. You can't. America's really good at being the catalyst or the cause of something, and then be like, damn,
Act like the savior.
Like, look at that. Like, that's crazy. But you the reason why it's like that.
Yep.
Oh my God, ISIS. Who funded ISIS? Who created ISIS? Who trained ISIS?
CIA's society.
But
organization.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. In addition to that, what the main thing that stood out to me, like I was looking at it from like more of like trust me, even though I look at movies for symbolism and make references to them in terms of what we're going through, I also, look at it for entertainment or whatever. Of course. But my main thing was like, how convenient for them to make this movie in the climate that we're in right now. All these mass shootings, like all these crazy white men.
Yeah.
Like that's already an analogy. You know what I'm saying? You're going through, of course, you're being castrated, neglected by society, masses in society. You're not being helped properly. But now you're showing
who?
People, not just white people, but people who may be people who are mentally ill to an extent. Because it's an extent. It's just that over time that extent broadens until it fully,
manifest,
consumes you. Like like Joker at the end. So it's like constantly you're being excluded, neglected, castrated, made fun of. Now, when you see something like this, and we touched on socialization before, the first stage is capitulation. Erase what you know. We're going to replace it with what we want you to know. Next step is assimilation. You're going to yearn to be accepted by the masses. And then the last step is full-blown imitation. Like you're gonna, exude what you think is normalized. So now we show this in a climate where mass shootings are indeed taking place. Abduction is taking place. Pedophilia is taking place. So many immoral acts are running rampant in societies all across the planet. So now people, like if I'm mentally ill, mentally challenged, I'm living with my mom like Joker was in the movies. So I'm the only child and I'm feeling overwhelmed with life. And then I find out, for example, I'm just drawing certain, correlations between. Yeah. And I find out that my mom been lying to me and I'm actually adopted. And my dad, who she been telling me is my dad all my life, is not my dad. I'm not going to know how to react because one, I'm already mentally ill. Two, my psychiatrist, my psychologist, my therapist, my social worker, my whatever, they're not help me. And they're not hearing me like in the movie. She was hearing him, but she wasn't listening to him.
Right.
That's what he pointed out. He was like, you're not listening. And he had to emphasize at the end.
Part he said too. You remember what he said?
I can't remember exactly what he said.
He was speaking to her. This is right before she told him that the funding got cut,
closing,
right? Which is another point.
And I was going,
how you cutting funding for mental?
Exactly.
Like
I had that written down.
That's most important.
The government
here first, because then this acts, and then you start know what I'm saying? What he said, he was saying something. He was like, "Oh, this is right after he killed those 3 guys."
Yeah.
And it was hurt on the news. And he was like, "For the first time in my life, you know, my whole life, I never felt like I existed. I never felt like I was seen. For the first time in my life, I feel like people are starting to really notice me." That was a bar to me.
Yeah.
And she said something, and he was like, "See, I don't think you ever really listen. Listen, I just said," and then he repeated it. And then she just said, "They're cutting the funding." She still didn't acknowledge it. So that's just egging on who he became, I feel like, too.
But see, it's like, it's a multitude of things in that one scene. It's like, for me, it's like, who knows if she did indeed cared or not? Because she could have cared. It's just that, and before I continue, her rebuttal to him was, the city don't care about you.
Yeah.
They don't care about me.
Yeah.
So her thing could have been like, I care, but am I supposed to be like, am I supposed to only dedicate this 30 minutes remaining in our sessions for today to caring? And then after that, I genuinely don't care because this is the last time I'm going to be seeing you. And she said that too. So it's like, I care, but with these limited resources that I have, and this limited parameters that I have to operate within, I really can't do much.
Yeah.
But even
and this is the
before
same
they
thing with
announced that-
teachers in schools.
Even before they announced that they was cutting the funding, she still didn't seem like she cared.
So I guess I can speak to that, even though I haven't seen the movie. So I work with an adolescent center, and I work with like counselors, social workers, young people in foster care, and they're all their workers. And I feel like that's probably an element to it, because one, you have people who operate in these spaces who don't like people, who don't like young people, but you work in an adolescent center.
That makes no fucking
right?
sense.
But then you also like that's a job to help heal people's mental and their like circumstances. That's a job. But then people are operating, whether it's nonprofit or like government funded, with a lack of resources. I know people who have caseloads of like 50 young people. They got to do home visits. They got to take these young people places to get their documents that they might not have, their like birth certificates or any ID. They got to sit down and work out their emotions, but they might only have an hour a day to sit with you.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I care, but it's like the city don't care about you because they only giving me X amount. So one, I can't overexert myself. And two, it's like I got to lift my hands up at one point. Like there's not much I can do.
Exactly.
So that's
my hands is tied.
My hands are tied. So I can only speak to you on this level because of the time we're allotted or the resources that I have. Or maybe she just didn't care. Yeah. Because there's layers. There's
it's multiple layers to that.
Yeah.
I've seen that too. As far as like what spaces I've operated with, like helping young people, specifically adolescents recently, there's people who are stuck in the enabling mind state. So there's young people who still come to them, who have been coming to them for 10 years. But I'm like, you're not sparking any growth for them to heal. You're just like, oh, this person is depressed because their family's poor or whatever. They can't provide for themselves. Let's just give them a job. But that's a Band-Aid on a wound. Like you gotta heal certain things. So I feel like I said, I haven't seen a movie, but I feel like that could be a layer of it too. Cause I've never worked in like that space before besides this year, like working alongside like social workers and working with like people in foster care, their workers, or like counselors and psychiatrists, but just seeing it, I'm like, yo, this is a lot. Like they did.
I could imagine.
And noticing people don't like people. Like there's people I know that work with like children and they don't like them.
Now, you think that they went? You think they were like that when they applied to it, or over time the job just got too heavy and then they became
It's a mixture. Because maybe you didn't know.
Shouldn't come into it with that.
Maybe you didn't know yourself enough. Like, because I have a friend who went to school for social work, but they didn't have the experience. And when they got into it, she said, "Oh, I like the learning of it, in like the mental process of it, but I don't like the being in the weeds of it though.
She don't like the practical.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like you might not know. A lot of times, I do think people get jaded and tainted by like the realm. Like, you're expected to do this, but you're only given this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like build me a house with a twig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's in that particular scene for me, it was like it's all about context because from his perspective, it's like, yeah, we gonna feel sympathy for you because Shorty not helping, she ain't doing shit. But we don't know what's from her perspective, what she's going through. That's my only thing. Like, if she is genuinely like, you know, not willing to listen, all right, that's fucked up. Like, you need to quit. And to answer your question, a lot of people, they get into these jobs and careers or whatever just for them bread. Yeah. They don't care about shit else. Like, they know they hate people, but they like,
we hear about that with teachers.
And it's the same shit. It's the same shit. Police too. Police too. It's the same shit. You going for your own ulterior motives. You don't care about executing the job efficiently and effectively. Right. And what else? So yeah, that was the symbolism that mainly stood out to me. It's like you're just breeding new generations of potential psychopaths. That's all it is. And you're basically showing like it is okay if you happen to fit this particular criteria. Outcast, you know, lied to, neglected. Okay, we understand because based on the Dylan Ruths and all these, you know, terrorists, they just got like slaps on the wrist.
Yeah. It definitely, I could see it definitely speaking to those type of folks. But I feel like folks like that, now I don't know these guys. I don't know these gentlemen, these I don't know these dickheads' lives. The Dylan Roofs.
Yeah, because that's not a gentleman right there.
Yeah. I don't know these
Yeah, I'm ready. He not that important. My main thing is Lala. Lala and them beautiful teeth. Oh my God.
She has some of the best scenes. I got tired of the Ghost of Angela scenes.
Those was all I'm like, she's whack, man. It's like show
that
show
PG
some,
porn.
Yeah,
need some clappage.
Exactly.
Alright, so yeah, I don't know these guys' lives. You know, the guys that show up to schools and shit. So what I'm getting at is, I don't know if they fit this ilk of feeling outcasted. Maybe. What, because they not popular in their school, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Joker's situation was a lot more in depth. Like I said, I don't know these guys, but I feel like it will be easy for them to say, oh, I'm an outcast. Let me
express myself.
Yeah, let me express myself and let me just shoot up a school.
That's what I'm saying. It's a safety net.
Because a lot of y'all niggas, y'all not really, like, your life really ain't that bad. One, you overreacting about a lot of shit. It is, but like, it is about perspective. Because I could overreact. Like, let's say I go on punishment, right? I'm like, all right, man, I'm tight. I can't go outside. He go on punishment. Fuck you, mom. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna kill you and that bitch dad.
Because when you view yourself, these people know that white people are
from hell.
They know that racism exists, and in their mind, they're supposed to be the upper echelon of society. So when they even have a little bit of dirt thrown on them, or they're not feeling the way they think they should be, they overreact.
Yeah,
I think it's different with Joker. You know what I'm saying? So I could see how the movie could be geared towards those guys, because they may view it, oh, I'm an outcast. You're not really an outcast, bro. Like, you just a dickhead, and you feel like you owe the world when you really ain't owe shit. Just because you white don't mean you owe the great education. It's because you white don't mean you owe the best job. Because you white don't mean you owe some pussy. Rapists. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You got to think about who has the power to create the narrative, though.
Nah, of course.
Because that's why I feel like it could be like an umbrella over these type of people. Because it's like, all right, they say, like, oh, he was a good kid, but like he got made fun of in school. But like, we are like a disenfranchised people.
Yeah, like we get made fun of like physically, literally, mentally, like everything, financially.
We had like people set us on fire and like put two
hangers.
horses in opposite directions.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know what I'm saying. So as far as outcasts are being like shunned or whatever, it's like, all right, but like you said, it's perspective.
Yeah.
Because I guess with other people it's like, oh well, you're here, like you should be privileged to be here, like so deal with what comes with that. But it's like, nah, it's not the same thing.
it is the same thing.
All right, so you don't like where this country is going, your country is going, and you're upset, and you don't like how people treat you in school, so you won't pick up the AK.
Right.
And well, he's an outcast because like he dressed different, people don't like him. It's like, yo, like. I can't necessarily get a job so easy over here,
right.
or people treat me differently in this different neighborhood. Like this is my life though; it's normalized to me. I'm normal being an outcast.
Yeah.
I'm not running up in your spot with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's perspective.
Right. Also, I wanted to say, what was it? So with the when Joker started, once he killed those guys and he started to get a little more, I feel like a little more confident. I feel like the normal viewer by the end of the movie would view Joker as completely insane, completely crazy. I feel like he got less insane. I feel like he got more clarity on his life. That's how I feel, because I feel like it wasn't like he was killing people. I'm not justifying killing people.
You justify killing people a lot.
No, listen.
You agree with Thanos, now you're agreeing with Joker. Keep going.
Listen.
They're gonna agree with Frieza.
No. Listen, I'm not justifying him killing people, but it wasn't like he was a school shooter. And it was random attacks.
It wasn't sporadic. It wasn't
every time
he
caused harm.
It was
the first 3 guys. He was getting jumped. The second guy he killed with the knife or whatever. It was brutal. It's a movie, but
his friend.
He got damn near framed. The guy gave him a gun. He lost his job. The cop looking for him and shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's not damn near framed. He shot them with the gun that the dude gave him.
I know. No. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about when the guy got when he got called and said, "Hey, what's his name said that you asked him to buy a gun." Nah, nigga, the guy gave him a gun. It's like that. So it's like, I felt like by the end of the movie, well, no. When it first started, he was unsure of himself. He was dealing with anxiety. He was super depressed. He was always down on himself. He would try to appear happy, but then it would snap. Like, it's an act.
But he's weird though.
But check it though. By the end of the movie, he didn't have that demeanor. Once he killed his mom, now like I said, I'm not.
I can pick you back off what you saying.
But like, once he killed his mom, and once he realized that, like, all right, this is who I am, and this is why. Now I understand. Like, he read his mom's files, and he read that like his mom boyfriend was beating on him, and like, okay, this is kind of why I am the way I am.
Yeah.
And my mom said that I had a condition with it. Probably is, but he told himself, nah, it's not a condition that I laugh at weird time, nigga. This is who I am. I feel like he became more sure of himself. You know what I'm saying? He became less crazy. That's how I feel. Cause by the end of the movie, he was making more like concise decisions. That's how I feel. He went on the show with a plan. I'm gonna kill this nigga because he trying to make fun of me.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I feel like he got more clarity. That's how I feel.
So maybe he's all right. So maybe he's more like less crazy, have more clarity, but he just lacks the foundation that he should have got in his upbringing. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So he might think like, yeah, I'm good, but his just foundation in society is just different. Like, so he can rationalize what he's doing. So it's still kind of crazy, but it's not.
We
like,
all have crazy talk.
Yeah.
Like, we all crazy to an extent.
Yeah.
It's just like
some of
he
us
got pushed to that limit
society's
that like
standards
killing somebody.
and laws.
Like, if I get jumped, if I have a, well, I don't have a gun, but I can't even say that. If I get jumped, I have a gun on me, I'm definitely pulling the trigger. For sure.
I don't think that's crazy.
It's not crazy.
No, it's not. But
I thought about it.
To dig deeper with it, it's like going back to people's capacities. So as far as like confrontation, some people only know how to respond in this way. If I have a conversation, I might only know how to respond with my fist.
Right.
I might only know how to respond by shutting down. So it's like that's people's like normal mode. So maybe he just find confidence and normalizing that, and he's like, yeah, I'm not crazy. This is just how like I can rationalize to move in the world.
Right. But it's also, switch gears a little bit.
Now, I want to say something real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I was just speaking to a young woman last night, and depression came up, and I asked her, "What are your?" By the way, I'm gonna send you the link to put in the bio of this episode. It is minddiagnostics.org. You can take a free anxiety test, PTSD test, depression test, alcoholic test. Like it asks you certain pertinent questions, and based on your answers to them, the severity of them, whatever, they would gauge your depression, your mental state, basically. So I was like a 4 out of 27, and it said mild depression. But to be honest, I really don't be. I mean, sometimes I have down days. You know, you feel like you're unproductive. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I never thought about killing myself, shooting 3 people.
But that's
killing my mom.
That's the connotation around depression. That is going to be extreme.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not
and
extreme.
And get to that point.
Maybe depression is just like, damn, like you missed the bus and now you sad. You're not just like, like if I miss a train, I'm like, all right, fuck. But I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
A level of a certain degree of depression
for the person,
you may miss a train. You be like, oh fuck.
But maybe
like it may sit with you type shit.
Maybe it's how you respond to situations. So you sad and just it looks like that, but you're upset because I feel like things don't go my way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's when you get into the weeds.
You take that twist of it.
That, as in addition to that too, is what could potentially be the outcome of you missing that bus. Maybe you already had 3 write-ups at work, and if you miss this time, you're gonna be laid off. So you're gonna be depressed because now I'm gonna be unemployed. I can't, to provide for myself, well-being, whatever. But what I was getting at was, I was asking her, where do you think depression? What do you think caused depression? And this gonna probably be on views because this answer I gave was very like. So I was like, she answered, but it wasn't, huh?
You asked her that?
Yeah, I asked her that, and she was thinking more in terms of like tangible things in a sense. But I was like, I was just meditating on it last night. That's what made me hit her up. I was like, the reason a lot of people are depressed is because majority of people don't know who they are, and thus making them not being able to identify their passion or passions or their life calling, which results in them not being creative with that purpose. Once you're being creative in a field that you love, one would be fulfilled with life. So now, taking that definition and applying it to Joker, when Joker killed his mom after finding out his past, that's why I always say you got to go to the past. You got to go to the source of things. So now he know his mom's mental record from the asylum. Now he knows Thomas Wayne is not his dad. Now he knows he was actually adopted. Now he's coming into himself because you learned your past. You know where you're from. So once you know where you're from, you know, in a sense, where you're headed. And that's where the 2 decisions come in, like on some Sasuke shit. Now you know the truth. This is why Sasuke, before he made his definitive decision, he had to know like the inception of the hidden leaf from Hashirama or whatever. So now Joker knows himself. This is why he's not as anxious no more. This is why he's more like aloof. This is why his decision making is more concise and definitive and without any hesitancy. You see what I'm saying? So that's all it is. Majority of us are depressed because we do not know our life calling. And it is purposely strategized this way because the elites, the puppeteers, I'm telling you, the puppeteers, they don't want you to know yourself. If you know yourself and you come into your own creative being, we have no constraints over you. Because now your creativity could easily be monetized because you're living within your purpose. You no longer need, they could kick you off YouTube, they could shut down all your social media platforms. Guess what? The number 1 form of advertising is word of mouth. You still gonna make a killing. But it's all about you knowing yourself and putting all your eggs in your basket and you betting on yourself 100%.
But okay, I'm gonna challenge that because I feel like that can be true. that can't be true for certain people. You may not know yourself, so it may cause some sort of depression. But what do you say about the folks that have depression caused by trauma, caused by PTSD? Not because they don't know themselves, but because it's been a barrage of just like trauma things in their life that cause them to have depression. Maybe they chasing their calling. Maybe they chasing their passion, but they past got so much shit that's causing so much,
confusion. And
I can answer that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Go first.
I think so to bring it to what you said, because I do believe that in like deeper with depression and anxiety, people are anxious because they might not be comfortable with the circumstances and stuff that they're in. So with that, yes, you could be depressed and anxious because of your past and past experiences and circumstances. But I think also people equate themselves to their circumstances. So when you get back to knowing yourself, and I am not my circumstances.
Exactly.
Once you know yourself, and with that, it takes time to get out of it, because when you're in it, it's just like, yo, this is me, this is my life. But you're not your circumstances. So when you know yourself, like, all right, this is what I went through, but this is just something I went through.
This doesn't confine me.
Would you separate knowing yourself from knowing your passion, though?
Yes, in a sense.
Because I agree with that.
There's a small nuance.
I don't necessarily attach that to like knowing your passion as well.
So
you know what I'm saying?
They're separate.
Also, anxiety and depression is two different things.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. But I kind of put it together. But yeah, they're separate, but I feel like you have to truly know your passion and operate in your purpose.
You have to know yourself
first. You have
first.
to know yourself first.
That's the precursor. Yep.
Because when you know yourself, then you have a thirst for the knowledge and the research to do what is my passion and how can I live in that truth. Because a lot of times people are anxious, depressed, they hate their life because they're not living in their truth.
Yep.
It's that simple. So to like equate it to my life, when I just started to not give a fuck about anything anymore, I've been the happiest person ever. Like, this is my truth. And one, I know my intentions. I don't intend to hurt other people, but people are going to get hurt. I'm going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt, whether it's intentional or not. So when you look at it like this is my truth, and I have to operate in this way for myself, for who I know I am, then that's how I beat depression. I was dealing with depression for like 12 years, and it took me like a year to figure that out. And it was like, I was like, I'm good. Because I had to learn about myself, and I learned I'm not my circumstances. I'm not all the trauma I went through. But then I reframed it. I went through all that, and it gave me a strength, because guess what? I'm still here. I'm still here, and I still have a purpose to be here. If I didn't, that shit would have took me out a long time ago.
Yeah.
But bringing it back to what you said, sometimes we're not even given the space, or some people aren't even at the level to like sit down and really put the pieces together to see that. If you working all the time and doing all of this, the powers that be don't even. It's a lot of distractions. If you're distracted by social media, because people are living lives, the optics are showing people are living lives that you want to live. You're working a job you don't like. Your family dynamic is messed up. You just in the weeds of it.
It gets overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. So
yeah.
you if you haven't found yourself, you might think like, yo, my circumstance, this is me. This is my life.
Yeah. I'm just going to work this 9 to 5 until I retire, and then I'm going to collect my pension. And listen to the voice and tone that they say it in. It's a melancholic.
It's flat.
To an extent. It's
because
no joy.
Depending on when they say it, I feel like deep down subconsciously, they know that they're suppressing that inner voice, which is like, nah, this is not me. This is not who I am. But look at depression kind of like being lost in the dark, right? If you're lost in the dark, you'll have no point of reference. You just don't know where to go. You don't know where you came from. So you can't walk back this way. You can't walk forward. You're kind of just there.
A deer in a headlight.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, all right, well, I'm here. This is just what it is. This is my existence.
Whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens, and it settles. So it's a flat voice, and you, over time, you start to suppress that inner voice, which is your true self.
Yep.
And your true passion and your true purpose. So over time, you'll meet older people who kind of like, they kind of just in like pilot mode. Like, yeah, I go to work, I do this, I do that. Like, this is my life. Or you'll see people who still have that inner voice in there, and I don't want to put an age on it, but it might translate to where now, like, confused admiration. They might look at you like you're every risk that I didn't take. So now I got an issue with you because you remind me of what I could be if I didn't like bury myself, or if I had the strength to like really follow that. Whether it's your passion, whether it's just moving in your purpose, moving in your strength. You might walk in a room and somebody might not like you. Yeah. Just because you exude confidence.
That happens. I feel
that
that
demon
that
named envy
lot.
kicks in.
I feel like that happens a lot.
And that's all it is.
Yeah, that's I definitely feel like that happens a lot. Yeah.
And another thing too, to add on to what you said too, is like, in addition to working that 9 to 5 and allowing their circumstances to shape their mental capacity and their life, a lot of us, we try to occupy ourselves with social settings to alleviate that void. Even though we know it's a temporary alleviation, even though we know tomorrow when we wake up sober from the weed or the alcohol, that voice gonna be like, yo, you know you still in debt, right? You know you still like you need to quit this job, right? Like you know you still, it's like your mom on steroids.
Yeah. Cause it's in here, it ain't going nowhere.
Exactly.
Can't escape it.
You can't close your door on that voice. You could close your door on your mom. You could leave the house, but you can't close your door and leave your mind. Yep. And this is why I believe, now that I'm thinking about it, we on this topic, this is their way of closing that door is suicide. I can't put up with this voice because
no more thinking.
It's me versus
no
me.
More,
and I just, it's like,
no more
it's me versus me. I'm the deer in the headlights, but I genuinely am just scared of going north, south, east, or west because why? The unknowing, the ignorance. So I've been doing what society said to do all this time. Go to school, go to college, get a good job. But society lied to me. So now it's like, if you don't know it, once again, it gets back. If you don't know yourself, you're going to value society over yourself, over that voice. And once that happens, game over. Because you either going to be a sheeple or you're going to be in a box. You're going to take your own life.
You know, I think it is too.
What?
When it comes to society.
What do you think it is?
When it comes to society, I mean suicide.
Yeah.
I think it's an escape from accountability.
That too.
Like when you have so much things that you think you should be doing, or what society think you should be doing, or what your family think you should be doing, or even you, like you said, that voice in your mind, it ain't going nowhere. If you know, if I go around Abdalla, he gonna hold me accountable. You just avoid Abdalla.
Yeah.
You just not go where Abdalla gonna go. You know what I'm saying? If Abdalla is all about, he's ambitious, he's all about chasing his dreams, and he gonna hold you accountable. He gonna be like, yo, when's the last time you recorded a record, bro? Like you said you wanted to rap, but you not recording your shit.
Yeah.
You wanna avoid him because you know that, damn, I don't wanna feel that way. But that inner voice in your mind's gonna tell you that all the time. Cause I go through it too. That accountability, like, yo, I know I should not be in bed till 1. I should be up doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you got these folks that they deal with, you know, depression and anxiety, it just multiplies those thoughts and that pressure. And sometimes, I guess, assuming so, because obviously I never committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? Assuming so.
Yeah. It's a lot lays to it.
Yeah.
You got to think about, just bringing it back to the powers that be. Like a lot is in place to produce that. You feel me? To produce the thought that you can't step outside of this. So yeah, you can be running from accountability, but like you might be at the place, but you might might be so programmed that you don't even think you have the strength to get out of it. So then you might fall into that victim state. So yeah, it's a lot. Like with suicide, I've had a number of like close people to me commit suicide. I've had suicidal thoughts before, and it's an escape from something, either the internal pain that you're going through and going back to like not knowing either how to get out of it or where to go, or just an escape from, like you said, accountability. But I just feel like, yeah, it goes back to knowing yourself. A lot of stuff goes back to knowing yourself. So because when you know yourself, as you know yourself, you know what you also aren't either.
Exactly. That's the whole thing.
So when you know yourself, you begin to shed the things that you aren't. So the expectations, whether it comes from family, society, whatever, it's like, yo, well, I know myself and I know what space I like to operate in, and I know what I love, and I have the strength to push myself now. So I don't have to care about this no more. And people, and we see it because it's kind of conditioned in sometimes families. Like specifically, I hear it a lot with like West Indian families and African families, as far as parents have great expectations as far as education and career. But it's like, if that's not where you are, like, you might be stuck in that because that's what you know as far as your upbringing. But as you know yourself, you know, like, all right, well, I have to live my own life. So maybe I can make my own choices and make changes. So it just goes back to knowing yourself and knowing your power, knowing your worth. I've been meditating, and my own mantra I've been having for myself when I meditate now is supreme confidence. So now I just rest in that. So when I'm in the waking world, that's how I move. Supreme confidence. I don't need to question anything. I don't need to live in fear or in a place of lack with anything. Yeah. And things have been changing, but it's just reprogramming my mind, because a lot of stuff is stagnated just by your own fear. There's nobody in front of you, nobody like an obstacle. You don't even think you could do it. So
you stop yourself.
There's nobody really holding you down physically. It's
just
mind.
Your own fear. It's your own mind. And that brings it back to the mind. So that goes back to some of you were saying, I was like, yo, that's subconscious. Back to the movie. And even what you said with you in the shower with the phone, and you had the thought, but you're not your conscious mind not listening to it, but your subconscious is always listening. So a person can watch this movie and be like, it's entertaining, but they can subconsciously have a common thread with this character. So like you said, the example with your mom, you might not know what to do, but you saw the movie, so it might be in your head like, this is what I'm supposed to do, because I saw it visually. So it's just it goes back to knowing yourself and knowing, like, and having the processing in your mind from yourself, not from anything else.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie, because there was talks about banning this movie because it's the word they used was hyper violent, and it could.
Oh, I didn't even hear about
that. They was trying to ban it. It was hyper violent. It could induce shootings and all type of shit. Like there's two sides. Because one, like I said, I agree with what you said, that it could induce those thoughts. Because I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. This is the first time I really either felt this way or I acknowledged the feeling. When I saw it the first time, I walked out of it with a dark energy over me. No lie. When I walked out of it, not me, but like I was like, I literally said, I was like, if I was somebody that was on the edge, this movie would probably do it. I literally said that. I walked out of it with like, yo, like the last scene when he killed Robert De Niro. I was like, I fuck with that. Now it's like, I was like, I understand why he did that type shit. Yeah. So I understand, but then the other side is like,
I had a feeling he was doing it too.
Yeah. On the flip side, I was like, all right, America, y'all not about to. I ain't about to let y'all get away with this. Y'all not about to let a movie be the scapegoat for gun violence. When y'all, with the whole country on some bullshit, y'all don't care about mental health. You gun happy motherfuckers, but y'all gun happy until a black man has it. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna let y'all get away with blaming this movie for causing shootings and violent mind states when y'all don't put the proper fucking preparations behind mental health, you know what I'm saying? And y'all don't put the proper like due diligence around like getting folks help and really getting the right precautions around folks getting guns in their hands. I'm not for taking away guns, but we gotta make it a way. Like, why niggas walking around with AKs, bro? Why is it so easy to get an AK, an M16, a fucking shotgun, all these things? Like, there gotta be some type of like something, bro. You know what I'm saying?
The white boys got
it. And it can't be just, all right, the movie's so bad, we gotta ban it. But like, nah, go have your AK though. It makes no sense. So that That's just that's what I want to say.
Correlation.
Yeah.
I think because somebody has said, I didn't know there was like an uproar about the movie.
Yeah, it was.
But then I forgot like there was a Joker situation with the Batman movie, and he shut up the theater.
Yeah,
I feel like people forgot that.
Yeah.
So then I started to put. I'm like, all right, I could see.
Yeah,
I
my
could
mom
see
told me about
pieces.
it first. She was like, "Yeah, like, people trying to ban it." And then when I went to her, she was like, "Yo, just be careful." I'm like, "I'll be alright, man. I'll be alright." But you never know really. But nah, it was people saying you gotta ban it. I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
We're also in the age of like people are upset with everything and want to have a problem.
yeah,
with
super
everything.
sensitive
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Very, very super
And
sensitive.
they don't keep the same energy with this. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Can I bring up a topic?
Yeah,
that
for
just
sure.
brought me to
Go ahead,
something.
No,
That just
for
brought me
sure.
to that Dave Chappelle. Did y'all see that? The new
Sticks and Stones?
Stand up? Oh yeah,
come
of course. I
on,
seen it
man.
twice.
How do you feel like people trying to police like comedies? Like,
It's just dumb. It's just dumb. You know
That's
why?
society. Reshape everything
Yep.
but it's like
to the
yo,
way we want it to be, you know,
It's a form of expression.
depicted, conveyed,
exactly.
relayed, whatever.
I feel like you can't like how. If you police comedy, then there should just be no comedy. Because think about
There
it.
should be no art because comedy is an art,
Yeah.
and now you're instilling ramifications and stipulations
Right.
upon my art.
Yeah.
Oh, why you gotta draw an abstract? Draw it regular.
Right.
What the fuck?
There should be no boundaries.
But it's like, yo, if I'm a comedian, right, and like there's a crowd, you in a crowd, and I'm making jokes that like pertain to you, and we laughing, right, and it's like ha 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 ha. Then I turn to him, and I'm making jokes that pertain to him. He can be like, yo, why are you talking? Like you was just laughing at him.
Exactly.
bro.
Right.
Exactly.
So
That's
can
that
we not laugh
sensitive
at
shit.
anything?
Son, it's even deeper than that. It's been times where comedians are joking on somebody and the person they joking on is laughing, but then a random bitch in the back be
Gets
like,
mad.
I'm
Gets
offended.
mad.
You can't talk about that. But
Yeah.
the nigga in the wheelchair is laughing at himself.
It's a great time.
But you like, oh, I have a son at home. Like, go back home with your fucking son.
Yeah.
Then
Maybe
you
you
pay for
shouldn't
a
be
comedy show.
Maybe you gotta sign a waiver to go to comedy shows. Like,
But
don't
does it have
come
to
in-
get to
I
that
don't
though?
know. I don't know.
Like, cause the jokes niggas make, I tell my mom all the time, like, you wouldn't even want to be. Like, when we really get down to our jokes,
Yeah.
like, but
We
it's
be
jokes
hated.
though. We mean no
Yeah.
malice.
Exactly.
It's jokes. Niggas talking about slavery, rape,
Crack.
crack, like mom's
Alcoholism.
drug addiction. Like, but cause thing is, you gotta sprinkle laughter over the pain. One
Exactly.
of my biggest mottos is if you don't laugh, you'll cry. I live by that. It's been times where like in my life, some wild shit happened in my life. And it hurt in the moment. I'm like, that shit was wild though. Like, how,
Yeah,
you know,
I'll
because
laugh
if
it off.
if you don't do that, you're gonna be stuck on it.
Yeah.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Period.
That's a fact. I make jokes on myself. I'm fucked up in the game. Like that when I cut my toe open, I'm making jokes on
Oh, yeah.
myself. Yo, I was
Yeah.
leaking. I sent it in a group chat. I was
Yeah.
leaking blood all over the kitchen floor.
Yeah.
I'm making jokes on myself.
Yeah.
Like
Niggas is too sensitive.
from the
bro.
dawn of time, like niggas, comedy started from personal experiences.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the best comedy right there.
Some people just can't laugh at themselves though. I'm just like,
And
That's
their
that
problem.
insecurity shit,
Yeah.
and that
You have
goes
a tough
back to
time with me.
knowing yourself.
Yeah.
I know myself. You make any big lip jokes, dark skin jokes,
Yeah.
brown skin jokes, third world country jokes, Guyanese jokes. You have yellow teeth from eating all that curry jokes. I don't give a fuck,
I
bro.
might
Yeah.
laugh with you.
I'ma laugh because
Yeah.
these are facts, and I'm gonna go home and
Yeah.
eat some more curry.
Right. It's a fact. I want some curry right now.
Like I don't care about that shit.
Yeah.
That's your subjective,
Yep. And it's
you
very
know,
telling you when niggas
reasoning.
get offended for certain shit. Like you ever be somewhere and like you just encounter somebody get offended. Like for example, when I'm not gonna name the person's name, but you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking
Male or female?
about. Mel. Like if somebody
Mel?
say no a male,
Oh,
not
okay.
Mel. Not yet, his ex name is Mel. If somebody be like, yo, you don't get bitches.
Oh,
And they get like
Two
what you mean?
guys.
What you mean I don't get, what you mean I don't get bitches?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. You tell me I don't get. I'm like, all right, cool.
That's
All
fine,
right,
bro.
that's fine. I have nothing to prove to you. Nothing.
no. Fuck
No,
up.
let me show you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You see this?
But like,
You see this?
some
You see
niggas
what-
really
Nah,
be
they-
like,
they go
like
through
you
the
really
phone.
challenge them.
Show you a bunch of fours.
Like you done called them a bad father. You called them gay. Like you
Yeah.
really challenge them. Like you know what I'm saying?
But that brings up some people equate that to who they are.
They worth.
They worth is how many women.
Yep.
Like,
And that goes back to not knowing yourself, and it
what
all
you mentioned
intertwines.
in terms of allowing your circumstances to define you and who you are,
Yep.
and give you validation to your life.
cause I give you the flip to that. I got like younger homies that know like women I've dealt with, and they'll like bring that up in conversation as if that's like I'm like, bro, like,
Yo, Terry fucked with
yeah. I'm like, I can't
she
take
was-
that to the bank.
Right.
That ain't gonna clear none of my debt. I can't buy a house with that. That
Nah,
don't give me
bro.
make me sleep better at night if I'm dealing
Nah,
with stuff.
bro.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, get that out your head. Like, stop trying to compare yourself to, bro.
Yeah.
This is nothing, bro.
Yeah.
But when we young, we conditioned it like,
'cause it's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
It's
and
fun.
dudes do things like for, like, honestly, for other dudes.
Other guys, yeah.
Yep. Yep. Because
And women for
niggas,
other women.
Because niggas not bragging to
funny
other
thing.
girls like, yo, because it's gonna fuck up your game. You bragging to other niggas like, yo, guess who I fuck? Where you ain't fuck a nigga? I did, nigga. And y'all go to a debate type shit. Like, I fuck nigga the pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. That, like I said, that's why I'm so glad my first episode on Nico Talk was about self-validation when it comes to men about sex, because that's a big thing niggas dealt with. I'm so glad I'm not in that mind state anymore, because I dealt with that for a long time. You know what I'm saying? In high school, niggas asking me every week, yo, you fuck yet? You fuck yet? Nah, bro, I'm still a virgin.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I caved in. At some point, like my senior year, I was like, yeah, I fucked. When I didn't. A month later, I did. But at some point, I was just like, you gonna ask me every day? If me saying yes gonna shut you up, then I'm gonna just say yes.
Yeah.
But it didn't though. Yo, what happened?
Yeah.
How was it?
'Cause now they
Was it
wanna-
good? You
yeah,
seen her
yeah,
again?
yeah, yeah.
It never ends, bro. It never ends.
Yeah.
Because when you really think about it in like in hindsight, because it might have come off as like, all right, they trying to check you, blah blah blah, but they didn't know what was going on or what they was doing either. So it's really like, all right, I'm acting like I'm trying to check you, but I really want to know because, see what I'm saying? I want to assess myself.
Yeah.
So when you grow up and grow out of that, hopefully, because everybody hasn't grown out of that.
Nope.
But when you do, you look at it, it's like, all right, we was just little funny niggas, like
Nope.
trying to figure it out. But yeah, just that validation, like,
Yeah, bro. Validation is,
hell of a drug.
yeah, bro. It is. But what we got though? That was a good segment,
Yo,
man.
every
Joker
time
movie.
we have you on, we touch on mental health.
Yeah, man.
Every single time, man.
I feel like, I don't know.
That shit is.
That's a
it's
part of my
necessary,
passion and my
bro.
purpose.
Yeah.
It's necessary.
With the-
We got you was gonna say something?
Now I was gonna say, cause I was just thinking about like how I'm becoming more intentional with my music, and like as far as like what I want to state, and on a grander level with music, I want my music to help people to like go and process their circumstance or whatever, but get to a place of like foundation with themselves, of strength.
Yeah.
And two, specifically with women, specifically black women, I want them to feel wanted.
Yes.
So that's,
Yes.
I don't know if I answered your question before you said it, or it was your question, where the music's going now. But
Right.
that's
Yeah,
like,
Dominic.
that's like, I'm like tunnel vision and focused on that. Cause
Black women appreciating themselves and
Yeah.
feeling appreciated.
and just being
Salute
honest
that.
and truthful. Like, so it might come off like I love you type of song. It might come off like, yeah, you need to shake that ass. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Either way, we for here for it, man.
Yeah, right. Ain't no wrong with shaking your ass.
Not at all.
Ain't no wrong because you embracing your body. And I'm
And
for that.
I'm the recipient.
And it may
Exactly.
sound like, oh, you like, yeah, it's a plus for me as well, but
Objectifying?
it's a bigger plus for you because who says you can't shake your ass?
Right? It's your ass.
I'm gonna enjoy it because I'm a heterosexual man, but at the end of the day, you shaking your ass is something you want to do. So go by all
Exactly.
means, queen.
You supplying it, I'm demanding
You
it.
know what's funny? do y'all know? My man sent me this video of this girl like as a twerk. Y'all know the twerk team?
That's a
I
throwback.
don't think,
But
I think
he sent me a
so.
video, but it was
I
a
don't
recent
think I
video.
know
But
them
then
by
he
name.
said, "Bro, they've been twerking for like 15
Yeah,
years,
I know you're
bro.
talking about, bro. Yes,
girls?
since like
It was like 3 of them.
since like MySpace days, bro.
Word up.
Literally.
'Cause I
It's like a
remember-
good 3 of them, and it's one main one, and the other 2 they kind of like they be switching the shit. But now I know what you're talking about.
But he sent me the video yesterday, and he's like, "Bro, like they've been twerking for 15 years."
Before it was a thing.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, that's their truth.
Yeah, and niggas made bread. They made bread off of that. They made a
Right.
brand. They got like that's
Yeah,
the followers.
they was in music videos and
Yeah.
everything.
I think one of the names called Miss Twerk some.
Miss Twerk, son. I don't know the other
Yeah.
one. She the main one.
She the main one.
Cause I remember MySpace
Hey,
days.
with Turk song.
Cause I told
gotta
him,
see.
I was
gotta
like,
see them.
You've seen them before.
we had this after school program at the Salvation Army in my town, and we used to sit there on MySpace, or as a group of guys, we would sit there and watch their videos.
It's mesmerizing.
And I'm
What can
like,
I
yo, you just reminded me, like they've been around since I was like 13,
That
bro.
ass.
I'm 27.
They may
She's
be in
still
their
out.
30s right
Word
now,
up.
low key.
They the pioneers. You salute to the twerk team,
Yes.
man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta send me that video.
Nah, videos.
Yeah, they got
They got a catalog.
They got catalogs.
For sure.
But what we about to get into, y'all heard about France? France, it recently came out that France has been making roughly $440 billion annually.
That's crazy. Or for
All
what,
for
though?
14 countries that they colonized back in the day in Africa.
That's a lot of fucking money.
Those 14 countries are
Wait, you said 440 billion?
billion, yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what type of...
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, son. France better have the
Roughly
illest
every-
technology.
Roughly every
Them
2
niggas
years,
better have
them
the
niggas
illest infrastructure.
raking
They
in
better
$1
have the
trillion.
illest policies. Because with all that money, what are y'all niggas doing with that, son?
But you never know how it trickle. Like somebody could just be like sitting pretty.
Yeah. But
That's fucking crazy.
the countries are Benin, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Bissau, Côte de...
Your name African. You better get these right.
No, this is French. Côte d'Ivoire, I don't know. Mali, Niger, Senegal, Togo, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, Congo, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon. And this has been occurring since 1958. Some sources say 1961. But basically, they've had control. They seized control of all of these countries' foreign exchange reserves. And all of the countries I just listed, they have to, their national revenue has to be deposited into the bank, the central bank of France. 85% of their revenue has to go to that
So they
bank.
only keep
So
15.
fuck your bank.
So no
fuck
wonder
your
why
bank.
these...
It has to go. And we all know how, there's videos pertaining to how banks make money out of thin air. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay. Because now you making, like, let's say 85% of your revenue. Let's say you sent me $2 million. Bro, $2 million, and I can now loan $1.8 million out of thin air. Because one, your deposit is your deposit. It's not mine. And now I just loaned $1.8 million out of thin air. Like, either one is not mine. Now, let's say all 14 of these countries come to my bank and request all the money that's deposited. I don't have that liquid cash on hand. So if you don't have that liquid cash to validate this numerical value that you have or that you say you have, then what are you lending? You see what I'm saying? But the article also states that if France was to, if all ties were to be cut between France and these 14 countries, France would drop drastically into a third world state. So this shows, and this is just France.
Yeah.
France is one of like the top tier white countries. Like when white people first, like the term white first came out, France was one of them. Spain, Portugal, they came after. Ireland, they came after. So it's like, what about Germany? What about Belgium? What about England? Because we know England, all they we know Canada still sends money to England on an annual basis. We know the Caribbean countries still send money to England on an annual basis, due to them once being colonized by England. So this just shows further that these white countries, they really don't have shit. All they have is a military base to come in and commandeer your government and basically intimidate and force you to, you know, do what we want. And this is why it makes sense why when you look at the annual budgeting of majority of these Western countries, majority of their annual budget goes towards military. Then second would be
because they gotta protect.
like research and development in terms of science and shit like that. It does not go to the main things like mental health. They close down all these facilities in the hood and, you know, that's supposed to serve the common people, and they've put it towards, you know, what's the word? Military, like, damn, what's the word? I'll just say settle for
thinking about
weaponry.
America though.
But yeah,
'Cause
think about that. Put that into perspective.
440 billion for France. You got all these other countries that colonize Africa.
Exactly.
That shit got me thinking like
China.
Yeah, China
And
got
China
their
right
foot
now,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, China got their foot in everything. That's what I don't know. That's like, you ever have a conversation with somebody that's white, or like you hear a conversation and then you hear somebody say something like, my people built this country and your people is only wealthy because off the backs of my people, and then they're like, there's some real validity to that. I mean, besides the fact that they had us as slaves and we was doing physical labor and shit, the fact that these niggas is still
capitalizing,
they collecting $440 billion.
That's the
after
design
roughly,
of the game.
because it's between 440 and 500.
That's a lot of money.
That's $1 trillion every 2 years.
That's a lot of money.
So
son.
now we see how you could easily rebuild your cathedral.
But what are they
that was
doing
set
with
on
that
fire.
bread though?
Rebuilding,
I want to know.
Rebuilding cathedrals that are set on fire.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh yeah.
Remember? And it was in France.
What was that shit called again?
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
I don't know how many little boys got raped in there. I don't know.
That's crazy.
But just look at that though.
Yeah, because I got me looking
we
at.
was to cut ties, we
They
would
shit
drop
they shit
to
would
a
crash.
third world country.
Yeah.
So that shows how much of a parasite y'all are.
I was just you gotta stop doing this.
You was gonna
bro.
use parasite?
Yes.
My bad, man. It's the
You don't have you don't have to stop doing
I know,
it.
I know.
I have to
I'm not
stop
gonna
being
stop.
surprised.
I'm not gonna stop. I told you
I gotta stop being surprised.
I'm not.
But
from another
yeah,
planet.
when you really break it down, talking that shit. When you really break it down, right? The powers that be, right? And those people, when you really look at people, right? Different peoples, and you look at what they have as far as like culture, whatever, all they have is parasitic nature. That's it.
That's
But
their culture.
when with the gentrification of other people's culture, then you can gentrify history and say, "Oh yeah, we did this, we did that." No, you didn't. If you really go through the history, you just stole it and plagiarized,
Rewrote it. Yeah.
rewrote it. So that's what everything. It goes back to just, like you said, knowing yourself. If you know and you're not just comfortable with what is the information that's delivered to you, if you go back, it's like, wait, this don't even make sense.
Exactly.
This don't even make sense. But yeah, I was when I was in Jamaica last year. It was just a lot of news that like China's just like coming up and buying everything, and it's like, yo, I asked like local Jamaican people, and they were like, because with gentrification, people always say, oh, well, it's building the place up, but then it's the other side of the conversation is who's going to benefit.
Exactly.
Who's going to benefit? Not the people who there, because they're not let into like the resources or to this room. Like, all right, we gonna come in here, we have the bread to come in here and do this, but they're not a part of this club. So it's just like, all right, whatever. Even though you lived here, your heritage, everything, your family is from here, it don't matter. So we just gonna move y'all out. So
My thing is, if they buying all this shit, right? Are they buying
China?
things that's not already purchased,
China?
or are people selling it to them?
China?
Yeah. Like, are they just buying land that's just empty and nobody, or they buying like,
Yeah,
like,
they're
because a part of it has to be getting sold to them, right? From people
Is
that
a part of
already.
that.
for the most part, yeah, it's basically unoccupied.
And that's
land.
my issue.
Or government sanctioned.
Like, is it
land.
nobody in these communities saying like, all right, maybe we should withhold this Maybe we shouldn't sell all this shit to them.
There's layers to it. There's one is like, because you got to think about ownership. Like, just because people in this land going back to like other people, they might have colonized it. They might own this land, but they might let you operate. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then two, there's people who
sharecropping.
There's people who you can look at it like self-hate or whatever, or an agent or whatever. They just they see the dollar like, all right, I'll sell you this land.
Yes.
There's government people who these are their people, but
and that's what's gonna fuck us up.
They making
personal
plays.
Fuck us up.
I was just gonna say like IMF and World Bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coincidentally, both of these organizations was started after World War II, and it was mainly to what they said their goal was. Their goal was to basically aid lands, provinces, or countries that were economically deprived.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go back to the inception of both of these organizations, the World Bank was always ran by a person from Europe, and IMF was always ran by someone from America. Always. The sitting board, the top, was always, from both of these organizations, right? Yeah, it is for the world, right? With IMF, when they give these loans to like Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, whatever, their stipulation is this. Let's say you're the prime minister and I give you $60 billion. You cannot use that money to raise the economic level of your country.
Mm-hmm.
If you do, we gonna paint you as a dictator or whatever. We gonna propagandize the shit out of you and then come in and kill you, or put you in our prisons. What you do with that money is build infrastructure, privatize infrastructure, whereas now we benefit off of that because it's an investment, right? And you sign over your land as collateral. Because one, we know you can't pay the shit back. So it's a win-win for us. We know we going at the end of the day, we gaining back 60 billion plus interest, and we gaining your land while you being fucked in the long run. You gonna look at it, and then we gonna hit you like, Prime Minister Terry, here, this is $2 million for you and your family. Go on vacation. You gonna love that. Your eyes gonna be bright, wide as shit. And majority of these leaders, this is what from Africa, Caribbean, South American, all of them, majority of them fall for this. This is why they hated Robert Mugabe. He wasn't with that shit. He went to their universities or whatever. He studied, he learned how they think, he learned their tactics, and he went back to Zimbabwe. He was like, we not doing this. And that's when they was like, oh, he's a dictator and this and that. We got to kill him. Multiple assassination attempts on this man. Why? Because he genuinely loved his people. Same thing with Muammar Gaddafi. Why would we want you to build your country up? Well, build your countries up. Because now, once you do that, the world is going to get wind to these niggas been lying all this damn time. And these people are really being subjugated. So it's like, nah, we got to be, this is good cop, bad cop, but we always got to be the good cop. We could never have this melanated people be the good cop, ever. We got to create the problem and then act like the solution, like Terry said earlier. That's all it is. Manipulation. And the game is economics.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure France is equated at 440 to 500 billion. England is 600 billions and up. I'm telling you, because England got the most colonies on the planet. Everywhere that speaks English, that was them niggas. That's where they planted their flag.
So what about America?
That's where they planted their flag. They still got a grip on America. Yeah. I feel like America's English dumpster.
Come on, look at America. Look at the size of England. Like on a world map, really look at these countries. Look at the size of Europe. Mainly France, Germany, England. Look at the size. Well, first thing you got to do is look up the most commonly spoken languages on the planet. English, Spanish, whatever, right? Now, all these languages derive from Europe, right? Look at the size of Spain. Look at the size of Europe. Look at the size of France. Look at the size of Germany. Look at the size of Portugal. Mm-hmm. And then look at the size of Brazil. You telling me Brazil can't watch Portugal one-on-one? Brazil is like 10 times Portugal. And that's just Brazil. That's not even counting the countries in Africa that speaks Portuguese as well. Right. That's not counting Dominica and the Caribbean. Once you get to this, like once you see these, like figure out these puzzles and like decode certain shit, you're gonna see like these niggas is on some like they were really on some.
They gotta have the weapons for it though.
Exactly. That's the main thing. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is like these European countries were really on some like monopoly, but there was no boardwalk and park place. It was like real countries, like real land, like, you know what I'm saying? And we wasn't playing until like, who got the most, count it up, game over. Nah, we playing for life. Yeah. This is like my children's children. We playing until we no longer on the planet.
Yeah.
In the 50s, we gave y'all independence, but yet y'all gotta still pay us back. When Haiti won its independence in 1804 at the end of the war, whatever, France issued an edict saying that y'all gotta pay us back for all the damages we endured. Mind you, we waged war on y'all, but because we lost, you have to pay us back for all the fleets you destroyed, for our embarrassment because we were the greatest marine / navy at the time under Napoleon. Exactly. You got to pay us back for whooping our ass. And then on top of that, we gonna paint you negative in the media. Oh, they do voodoo over there. Oh, they worship the devil over there. Oh, they dirty over there. They impoverished. Oh, the earthquake hit them because they're so evil. But we got technologies that can manipulate the tectonic plates under the earth that could cause that earthquake. Right. But we gonna tell the masses that y'all do voodoo. This is why y'all got hit.
Mm-hmm. The layer with that is then it goes to those are our people, but then our people will look our program and be like, oh well, I don't mess with Haitian people.
Yes.
But it's like, yo,
and that's how you kill two birds with one stone.
And that's the real war.
Exactly.
Because then it's like, all right, you fight yourself. I don't even have to lift a finger.
I don't lift a finger. Yep, I was gonna say that.
It's on some legit like. Yeah. Dominique is the light skinned guy. Being that me and you are brown skin, he gonna pit the two of us against each other, and it's like them old kung fu movies. I love old kung fu movies. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Netflix. Thank you for putting all them Shaolin movies. So it's like the bad guy, he's sitting back chilling while the two of y'all fighting, exerting all this energy, and whoever win, he gonna fuck them. I'm gonna fight you now one-on-one. When I'm fresh off of sensu bean,
you already
wear it out.
You fatigue and all of that shit.
Right.
I seen how you move. That's your fighting style. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna counter with this. Unless you on some real like, all right, yeah, I'm fighting you, but hold me in the stash and I ain't gonna, I'm
saving an extra tank for you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna show my big bang attack. I'm gonna show this final flash, but I'm gonna keep the big bang attack and you know what I'm saying, and the Gallic gun and shit, to surprise him. If that's your mindset, cool. But if it's not, then bro, both of y'all gonna be ass.
Mm. It's chess.
That's the only way I cut this, Robert. They playing chess. That's why I always say, even though it's a lot of demonic shit going on, man, it's and I gotta give credit. These niggas, they playing chess, man.
They planned it well.
I be saying the same thing. If you're
And-
if a person that thinks or like are
It's
are
like-
into like tactician type of moves, you gotta be like, yo, like they 100 steps
Because they
ahead.
don't have the talent, they don't have the smarts, they don't have the mind, they don't have the spirituality on their side. They don't have none of the shit like that we got, that we supposed to win, but they got the evil conniving techniques. You know what I'm saying? They use our kindness against us. They got, you know what I'm saying? We're too forgiving. They know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We like, oh yeah, like the Indians. Oh yeah. We're gonna show you how to hunt. We're gonna show you how to use the arrow and shit.
And you know
And then
the
they come
funny
with
thing?
guns and shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know the funny thing? When that pendulum, because it's swinging back.
Yeah.
When that pendulum swing all the way back and we back where we belong,
We ain't gonna be so
on that
forgiving.
totem pole,
Uh-huh.
there's still gonna be black people that's gonna be forgiven.
Yeah.
Because when people hear how I speak about white people, they will be like, "Oh, this guy, he's a race baiter, he's a racist." Shit that I really don't care about. But they're not really decoding and dissecting the facts. These are people, 99.9% of them, they do not look at history. They negate
infiltrated.
it. They neglect it. Exactly. I don't care about that. You know how many black people tell me I don't care about slavery?
Yeah, that's
I don't
crazy.
care about this. I don't care about that.
You've been infiltrated.
But then you gonna mention Jesus to me. You just told me you don't care about history,
Right.
but you mentioning somebody that supposedly existed 2,000 years ago. Now, isn't that history?
Right.
And that's the
Hypocrisy.
stupidity.
Yeah. Hypocrisy, like you always say, conveniency.
That's the
Working out of
stupidity
conveniency.
that I
Yeah.
just can't stand. But that's the funny thing, that there's still gonna be apologists and sympathizers after all of this. Oh well, you know, Mr. John was good to me.
Stockholm syndrome?
that's good
Right.
to you though,
Yeah.
not good to us as a collective.
Right. That's a
And
gem.
this is
Right
where
there.
this is why I subscribe to certain people like Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, Neely Fuller, Malcolm X. It's like, well, Stokely Carmichael, Khalid Muhammad, Farrakhan. People would look at these individuals as radicals or extremists. Well, more radicals, because extremists would be like Dylan Roof and shit. Like,
Yeah.
you went to the extreme,
going
you
to-
shot niggas up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why I rock with these individuals is because they're like, oh, and Dr. Cloud Anderson, they mention things like, okay, you're cool with, okay, there's people like John Brown, the white guy from back in the day, Harper's Ferry raid, and he took his sons to, you know, as they were abolitionists, and they actually attacked a Confederate base in Virginia and, you know, killed a couple people. They died, but this was a white guy. He took his two sons on some like, we're gonna free black people shit. That's admirable. You know what I'm saying? And we also have like the Jane Elliott, the white woman. She go around telling people to, you know, she would give like racism tests. Oh, how would you feel if I treated you like this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mhm.
But their main thing is like, yeah, these people are cool. They speak on your behalf. They speak on our behalf or whatever. But at the end of the day, these are individuals. These are not collectives. Name one collective ethnic group that ever came to the aid of black people. Nobody could ever name any of them. It's not the Indians, like East Indians. It's not the Asians, like Chinese. It's definitely not white people. It's only individuals. But we also have individuals amongst us that, oh, we sympathize for the Jews, we sympathize for this, we sympathize, okay. But we climbing the Statue of Liberty because Mexicans are being, you know, divided at the border and shit. We also have our individuals, but at the end of the day, when you look at it on a total, like in the grand scheme of things, who is last? Who is clearly being marginalized the most? And this is when if you can't answer that question, or if you fail to identify the answer to that question, I really can't mess with you, because you're on some coon shit. You on some oblivious shit. Like, not only are you oblivious, but you don't care that you're oblivious. And that's what I'm just good with. Like, I'm just good.
Yeah, I get it. People, it goes back to capacities. I I got past the point to where like it even disrupts me. I'm like, all right, this is how by design, this is how you've been conditioned to operate. So I'm like, all right, I see it.
Yeah.
I don't gotta kick it with you. I don't gotta talk with you because we might not have a meeting of the minds, but I get it. Now you just gotta move out the way. But it's like I was having a conversation about this black woman told me she doesn't identify with being a feminist. I said, why? And she basically said like, and I agreed. I was like, yo, that a lot, not even just the feminist movement, a lot of movements are built off the back of us. So when they get there, it's like, all right, yeah, we're good.
We don't need you no more.
Y'all deal with what y'all dealing with. Thanks. You know what I'm saying? But people keep falling for that same thing. It's like, yo, it's been happening.
Yep.
But they can't answer that question though. They're like, oh, well, these people got this going on, but yo, you have this going on too. Sweep around your own front door before like
it's a lot of all lives matter shit going on.
We be all lives mattering ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What about black on black crime?
Yeah. I've definitely heard that, and I was just like, bro, do you even understand what the fuck you're saying?
Yeah.
Like I heard I recently revisited the clip when Kanye West was on TMZ, and he was speaking to Van Lathan, and he was like, he said some shit like, oh, when white people kill black people, it's a big uproar, but when black on black crime happens, nobody says anything about it. And Van had to stop him, was like, that's not true, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that he said that in that type of simple format was like, you don't even understand what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the people that's like, all lives matter. Like, yeah, you know, you don't go, I forgot who said it, said, you don't go to a cancer rally and say, well, what about AIDS?
Yeah. I think it
You
was
sound
on
like a
Vlad.
fucking idiot. You know
I seen a tweet like you don't go to, I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It was something like, yo, you don't go to somebody else's funeral and be like, I felt lost too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom died last year.
Yeah, it's not that serious.
But that's the world we live in.
Oh man. How y'all feel about what are some solutions y'all ever like pondered on, like possible solutions in terms of I'm gonna pick something like specific. In terms of our economic, in terms of the economic disparities here in America, like what is some solution? Of course, you know, shopping with each other, but like how would y'all say, what are some ways that we could enforce that on like on a bigger scale, on a more like
keeping the
like
black
you
dollar
have to, yeah, mandatory
and not spending
scale.
it and not falling victim to all these big brands like Mercedes and maybe
a lot of things to
or
be
like
honest.
Louis Vuitton, Gucci, you know, just spending money that we don't need to, maybe gold chains or you know, shit like that. We have to get to a point where we're not seeking validation from anyone besides ourselves. That's even with white people and black people, because most times we're not even really seeking validation from white people. We trying to get approval from.
We trying to be the best nigga.
Looks like us, like
the best house.
I wanna impress Jamal because I overheard him the other day saying that he want this car. Now if I get that car, he gonna fuck with me, and then you know what I'm saying.
But let me add a layer to that though. So even with that, all right, but you got to think about the standard, where that's been programmed from. It's from them people.
No, that's a fact.
You see what I'm saying? So essentially, you might not even know, but you're trying to you're fighting to have a seat at this table. You see what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, you built the table. So why is I equate it with music, like with the Grammys. Like, why do y'all need these validation? You are the art.
Exactly.
How is these people and these gonna tell you you are the art?
And we already know it's bullshit. We know it.
But niggas,
we know the niggas that vote is not. They literally owe the white people. They literally people that's not from the culture, and we still get upset. But when BET come around,
nobody's go.
You don't see Drake there. You don't even see Jay-Z there. You don't see Beyonce there. You don't see all the prominent figures there.
No.
You see upcoming people there because they need that platform.
I mean, at the same time, yeah, BET stand for black, but they sold it to a white person.
Yeah, but
it's like
if the original award you're gonna go you're gonna go to the Grammys and not the BET Awards, then don't go to none. Then
exactly,
don't go to none. Fuck them all.
I'd be like,
be like Eminem.
Fuck them all.
I'm gonna start my own award show.
That's how I feel. But what your question is, I think this one of the main solutions is
in terms of mandatory though. Like how can we apply it? Like, yo, y'all have to.
I'm gonna be honest with you, because I don't really like operating spaces or like how can we fix the conditions of masses, because masses are sheep, and I'm on
I agree to that.
Some of y'all gotta die.
Majority of y'all have to die.
Yeah. To answer your question,
who has to die?
Some
our
of
own
us,
people.
because you're gonna hold us back.
It wasn't all the Haitians that fought in the revolution that actually won the revolution.
Somebody gotta die, man.
The first thing they did before they even fought that revolution was kill all the coons. That's the very first thing they did, because they know majority is black niggas. So we gotta round up Al Sharpton, Jesse Lee Peterson, all these people that we know, like they have our phenotype, but that's not for us.
So then to answer your question with that, it's like I'm always gonna go back to knowledge itself.
Yeah,
because we can all want these different things, but if your standard is off of like someone else's standard, then you're operating in a way to where like you're already stagnating yourself. So you got to know yourself first, and you got to clear out, like, I feel like it starts with the small the nucleus of the visionaries, and then it trickles down, because people don't think for themselves. Majority of people.
Yeah, we need leaders.
So it starts from, all right, this is what we're doing. It trickles down, but I don't think there's any way for it to be mandatory, because somebody's gonna say, all right, well, you want to do this, but it's easier for me to go over here and shop over here. So why, like, unless you can reprogram or show that person for them to understand the value in it for them, like, I don't know how it could be mandatory. Because even with, like, you see with like clothing lines all the time where it's an uproar or something, but then people go right back to it.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, all right,
after they cool down. Burberry, I've seen so many niggas with Burberry hats.
And
Burberry had the blackface, right?
Montclair had the
Burberry, black Montclair, Prada.
They had the.
Wait, was it Prada too?
Yeah.
Probably. But it's like,
was it Prada? No, I don't think it was Prada.
It was
Montclair, Gucci, Burberry.
Yeah, it was those three.
Yeah.
But the infrastructure is already there. You're already in the muscle memory of doing it. It's like asking somebody to do something else. It's like, it's too much work, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, there's value in it, but everybody doesn't see it, because some people are also like short-sighted too. Yeah. It's like, I might have to spend with you, but in order for you to build this infrastructure for it to actually compete, like, I might have to be paying a little bit extra. I might have to go out the way. I'm not willing to do that. You're taking me out of that. So I'm like, and I don't think
it's nuances for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's pessimistic of me. I just think like,
it's not. That is not pessimistic at all. It's objective.
I really got out of like
realistic
focusing stuff on the masses. I'm like, yo, whoever's gonna resonate, it resonates, and then as people awaken more and more, then the number will go up. But how I operate, I'm not here to save anybody. I'm here to help you save yourself. Yeah, that's it. So what you talk about or y'all talk about on here, like you said, if it doesn't resonate, that's fine.
Yeah,
it's
not
not for
make
you.
People,
leave it alone.
Yeah,
because whoever it does, it might spark something in them for their passion, for their knowledge of self, and then to go that way. So I don't. As far as mandatory, I wish there was something. Yeah, that'd be because what we have, black people have the biggest spending power. Yeah. What? Yeah. We'd be lit. Yeah, but I don't know.
The dopest shit. So it ain't like we can't find products that's dope.
Mm-hmm. We create the culture. We create what's dope. What's your answer?
Right.
I agree with what y'all said, but at the same time, for me, I'm more of like a spook who sat by the door.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying.
So even though I asked this question on our platform, I'm more of like we gonna chop the real shit off, we gonna chop the real shit up off here.
Uh-huh.
Cause you never. That's not what. That's another one of our biggest like mistakes. We always want to talk about shit in the open where the shit is easily accessible. When niggas had them Bretton Woods conference, when they had the meeting in Jekyll Island about the Federal Reserve, nobody knew about this shit. Not even their wives. You see what I'm saying? Bohemian Grove getaways. We don't know what's discussed at these events. So why is it that we always discuss our most like
I know what you
important moves,
Yeah.
you know, out in the open publicly? I mean, it's certain things that we can say to spark the mindsets to have niggas revolutionize their thinking processes. But as far as like the main execution, like strategies, no, we're not going to discuss chess moves in the open. But I just wanted to like see where y'all heads was at in terms of that, because I do agree. Like recently I have been on some like, yo, majority of these people are straight up like sellouts. Like I know for a fact, like if I attain a certain level in terms of like notoriety and niggas came on some like assassination attempts, people would give me up, bro. I know this. And this is why in the Bible Jesus looked Judas in his eyes and he's like, yo, you gonna sell me out. I know you're gonna sell me out. Oh no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm your boy. Yeah, I'll rough you, my nigga. You gonna sell me out, bro. And so said, so done.
That's crazy.
Because
if that's true, that's crazy.
That's what the Bible say. But I know this is how majority of our people are. We've been beaten into submission. Niggas is afraid of everything. And I can't wait to drop my episode Fear on views. Like I'm gonna break certain shit down, like so people could see where I'm coming from, how fear really controls you and stagnates you, and how easy it is to diminish fear, what you have to do to diminish fear. But
yeah, fear affects every fucking thing in your life.
Yeah.
And most times it's not even like, it ain't necessarily correlated with danger. Like danger's real. Fear is just like some figment of your mind. It can be attached to danger. But a lot of times it's attached to nothing. It's just your own self-doubt. You know what I'm saying? That everything. A job opportunity, you talking to a girl on the street, you defending somebody, you don't want to speak about your job because you might lose it.
Yeah.
I forgot what was the situation, but I asked my manager and I asked another coworker of mine. I was like, damn, what's the situation? But I was like, my manager, let's say his name is R, right? I was like, if R was an open racist, would you work here? And they was like, nah. I was like, I'm just checking the temperature, cause I know some folk, they just like, look, I'm just here to I'm here to get a paycheck. But the nigga is an open racist. You know what I'm saying? Like the only reason why you here is because you just another body that's going to generate income for
him,
the venue. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was like you really need the money, like I couldn't work nowhere where somebody's an open racist, and then you know what I'm saying? That's just not the way I'm built. But there are some people out there that, regardless of what it is, that fear for not having a job. And I understand you got a family. I understand. But at some point, like, you got to put respect, principles, and integrity above something. That's what we went down to. We spoke about the China NBA shit. I'm going to get into it, but it's the same concept. Like, I understand that China is a billion person population, and LeBron James, I know your sneakers sell out there, but come on, you can't go against human rights because your dollar is, you know what I'm saying? It's just certain things you just gotta shut up.
Yeah.
Or you can't
or stand on it.
Right, exactly. That's how I feel.
I have a question based on what you said as far as the concept, like with moves today, like black people basically showing their hand. Do you think that's because certain people still operate off of like maybe at an older time we needed to have the numbers and the masses behind it, but today you just need that small group that can make shit shake. I to answer that, I think that's why I think people are still thinking like it's the 60s, we need to march and like have a bunch of people. Shit is not gonna work. We've seen it fail many times.
I'm not getting bitten by no fucking dog or sprayed by no water.
Or I'm not being double crossed by somebody who was an agent that infiltrated my organization.
Exactly.
Less is more.
Yes.
Less
and
is
I was
more.
going to use the movie 300 with Gerard Butler as a as a analogy. Like, those 300 soldiers were actually a proportion of the actual Spartan army. It's just like the best of the best that went out and executed and took down all those, rivals. And then the main rivals, like, of course, they ambushed them and killed them. But when in part 2, when the full army came out, they squashed the Persians. Because why? The 300 did so much damage already. You know what I'm saying? But that's all we really need. It's not. We have this thing where we think, like you said, we need the numbers. It's just like the David and Goliath. Like we are afraid of being outnumbered. We're afraid of things that's bigger than us. Like that's why they always say, black people, we really don't know the power that we have inside of us. This is why our reading abilities were taken away. Our languages were taken away. Like, bro, law of attraction is not just limited to financial gains. I'm telling y'all right now, this shit is applicable to everything.
Yeah, that's probably the least
fighting
thing on my mind.
women, everything.
That's a fact.
Like, it's you're familiar with the Orishas, Ogun, bro. You have certain problems. You have like you could be facing suspension of your driving privileges. You play some Ogun music, you meditate, you put yourself in a right state of mind, and then you go before that judge and you would see miracles. Like, no lie. And this is why they tell us, like, belief and subscription to anything outside of Christianity, that is devil work. That is devil worshiping. When in reality, these niggas practice this shit that they learn from us. But they gave us the Christianity. Why? Because they know black people, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So you give us anything having to do with spirituality or subscribing to a divine spirit, we're gonna, because we inherently live like
that's how we operate.
Exactly. So we gonna gravitate naturally. But you've been indoctrinated with this. So you normalized the indoctrination and castrated the natural.
Exactly.
That's the ultimate checkmate right there to me.
Exactly.
Because your spirit has been commandeered. I got your spirit.
You've been infiltrated.
Yeah. Once I got your spirit, I got the vessel. This is why they be like, oh, take somebody, control somebody mind, control their body. Like, if you could be in a relationship, another nigga mac your girl, and he basically capitulated her mind. He got her technically.
Yeah.
She's just laying next to you, but that nigga got her. These niggas got majority of your spirits out here. That's deeper than the mind.
Yeah.
So that's all it is. Once we come into ourselves and we learn certain shit, like, I'm trying to be my brother told me something one time. He said one of his goals, and he achieved it too. Last time we spoke, last couple times we spoke, he said one of his goals at the time was to align his spirit with his conscious mind. And once that happens, life is effortless. I love having conversations with my brother, yo. Like, the shit is like so fascinating. And it's like in Dragon Ball Z when Vegeta saw Goku go Super Saiyan. It's like, oh man, I can't wait till I get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because you have that thirst for that transcendence.
Exactly. And you see the manifestation of it. It's like, man, Then you get there, you go Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, ultimate, eventually until you attain Ultra Instinct. You see what I'm saying? So we are, like Terry said, we allow our circumstances to define us. And once that happens, you basically lock your spirit in the cellar and shut the door.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yo, we could do so much shit, bro. Oh my God. Like, I'm not even capping right now. We could do a lot of shit.
It's very interesting what you said. Aligning his spirit with his conscious mind.
Another thing is to align your subconscious with your conscious mind.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Cause I remember we was talking about the subconscious a lot, and I read that book, and I've been like really into subconscious like rework, because your subconscious is always listening, and it's programmed by trauma, repetition, and symbols.
Yes.
So that's everything and everywhere around you.
Yes.
That's TV. So you can be sitting somewhere. Think about it. There's a commercial, for a product that you don't even buy. But you can be like, oh, and you could sing the song outright.
Yeah.
That's your subconscious mind.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
that
with
shit
that,
from the 90s.
Exactly. It's like, yo, how do I know this?
Yeah.
But it's always listening. But if you're not the one that's programming it, guess what? Somebody else is.
Yes.
It's always listening. So going back to doing that. So with aligning your subconscious with your conscious, it's like understanding, all right, knowing yourself. So why do I do the things I do? Why do I respond in a certain way? Is this from a trauma? Or is this from something that I learned, that I picked up? Like, why do I operate this way? Who is in control of my operating system? You break that down and you start to do that work, and that shit, it takes time. Because I'm currently doing that too. And I do that a lot with my meditation and just my everyday life. But when you start to do that and it starts to bring stuff to alignment, like you said, life is just...
That's how you decode the Matrix.
Exactly.
And what happened when Neo decoded the Matrix? He started stopping the agent's hand with one hand. He stopped bullets. He started flying at the end. Life was effortless. But you allowed the Matrix to shape your reality. Oh,
I love that movie.
I just work in a cubicle.
Yep. I love that movie so much. Facts.
I spoke with, this is one last thing I'm going to say on this subject, like in terms of the shit that we have the power to do. I spoke with a Mason, right? Up there in the ranks, like on some grandmaster, like legit grandmaster Mason, right? And he told me one of the things initially, like one of the practices that he had to do in his younger days was it's like you have a jar or like a bowl of water, right? And you cut a little piece of paper, right? It's going to float in the water. Make sure it's still, no wind, nothing, right? One of his goals was to stare at that paper and make it move with his eyes without touching. Like you just staring at it and then you just looking, and as you look, the paper is moving. You look side to side, the paper is moving. People, they'll be like, nah, that's impossible. That to me, when I was told that, it's like this is how I interpret it. Everything is energy. That paper, that water, everything is energy. That energy inside of your vessel is now extending itself to that paper and causing it to move. You see what I'm saying? And that's just how you know what I'm saying? That's how I defined it. Right. That's how I decoded it to be. I could be wrong, but for me, that's what makes sense to me.
Yeah. You could compare that to manifestation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you making things in your life manifest, as far as like you compared the paper to maybe a job you want. I want that job to come inside my life, or I want that woman to come inside my life.
Law of attraction.
I saw that woman at the bus stop last month. I'm gonna see her next week at the supermarket.
And I'm gonna
move her body there because I put my mind to it, and then it happens.
Yes, and I recently did that. One of my favorite hip hop artists, Mos Def. I've had the courtesy of taking him to the Roots picnic over the summer. Recently, I had him as a client again. This time we actually chopped it up on some one-on-one shit. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about random shit. And then eventually, as I'm driving him to his destination, I was like I made I did this before, but I reverted to it. I was like, yo, starting now, like this is like a week ago. I was like, whatever the first thing that popped in my head again, I'm back on this type of time. I'm adhering. As I'm driving now, like the conversation had died down. I'm driving, and my mind was like, well, my spirit was like, yo, if he tip you, propose a proposition. And the proposition is, instead of the tip, I would greatly appreciate it if you listen to the podcast, our content, and leave an honest review. Now, when I manifested it, and everything played out well, whatever, he was like, you could still have the tip. I'm going to do that. Yeah, no problem, bro. We chopped it up, gave me his email so I could send all the links. And my main thing is, like, I said that, like, I came to that conclusion because it's like, one, I don't want you to think that I value money more than, you know what I'm saying, anything else. Like, my main thing is content. This content. This content could bring us 100-folds of what you're giving me.
Yeah.
So, in addition to that, it's like, once again, everything is energy. I'm attracting positivity with this. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know if I'm drifting, but I just wanted to, like, prior to me having him again as a client, I had told certain people, like certain close people, I was like, we gonna cross paths again. I'm not sweating it, because the first time it wasn't the right environment. Yeah. His family was there. There was too many people. I don't want to be like, yo, I got a podcast. Yeah. Like, my nigga, I'm going over my lyrics. I'm about to perform and shit. Like, life is not about you. You know what I'm saying? Drive the fucking car and shut your fucking mouth. So, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I just wanted to share that. Like, yo, if anything, if there's a listener out there, like, viewer, like, if there's anything that you want to attain, just put your mind to it and envision yourself doing it, or holding whatever it is, or being wherever you envision yourself being. Within time, of course, one of the key things is hard work and discipline. You have to be disciplined, because you just can't envision the shit and it's going to poof, fall in your lap. No. Right. But hard work and discipline, and you want to attain anything, like, no lie.
Yeah. Especially depending on what it is. They equate it to, like, the paper. Like, all right, so you want a house. That's a big piece of paper to drag across this water.
Exactly.
So it's going to take time. Well, it's going to take discipline and investment, I should say.
It's going to take more than just you thinking, like,
one time.
I want a 5-story.
But what came to mind when I first heard that, it's like, this is why I always say, like, they show us the truth in movies, but they will write it off as fiction or science fiction. Look at the movie Matilda.
I've never seen it.
You never seen Matilda?
Nah.
That's a classic. She had like
I don't think I've never seen it.
Psychic
if I did, I was young.
Telekinesis powers, yeah.
If I did, I was young. I don't remember.
She would stare at a jar,
or a clip at least.
She would stare at a jar, and it would be like, until it like lifts up.
I always believed people could do that. Always, and then I would tell folks, and they'll be like,
"Not Chris Angel.
They can't do that shit." I mean, maybe not him, but like I always believed that. Like, even since young, I always believed in the mind's a very powerful thing. Even before I understood what law of attraction is, I know manifestation meant. I was young. I'm like, there's folks that. Like, I always understood that, okay, if it's true that we only use up to 10%, then what is niggas doing with the other 90? And I'm just the average person. There are people that are above average in their mind and what they do. So if somebody's at 15%, 20%, I'm pretty sure they're doing things that we can't do right now.
Yeah.
It's just common sense. Why would somebody that had 20% be doing the same shit I'm doing with my mind? It just doesn't make sense. So, like, little shit like that, but not tough for, they be like, no, that's crazy. You can't move a cup. I'm like, why is that so, like, out of out of your realm. Like,
Yeah. Of
you know what I'm saying? Because you don't understand what the mind could do. You just live in physical. I'm just, I could grab this and shit. But
Yeah.
I firmly believe that shit for sure.
Cause I look at that like, are you ever out? Cause I even operate like, yo, this is just the vessel I'm in, but this isn't me. I have a higher power, higher source. So whatever that source is like orchestrating all of this. So if I want something, it's like, all right, I bring it to the line, send it up. And if you know, like, I'm not my circumstances, so I may not have what I want. That doesn't
now
doesn't mean I can't have it.
Exactly.
Right.
But it starts with your mind, because that's the connection. So if I'm in my mind with the thoughts like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, then like that's the truth. So
You sabotage yourself.
You close the door on yourself.
Yeah. That's before we end it, you got any more topics?
Nah, that was the last topic.
I want to say one more thing, because that goes into what you just said when you said like, if you keep telling yourself you ain't gonna get it, you're not gonna get it. That's like, for a big part of my life, even when I was younger, I believed in like bad luck.
Me too.
I always like, damn, bro, some shit's always happened to me, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, some shit's always happened to me. And then at some point, I was just like, maybe if I keep saying this shit, like, it's gonna keep happening. Cause maybe I'm putting myself in that mindset to like prepare for it.
Yeah.
And in that mindset of preparing for something bad to happen, I'm not in the mindset of preparing for something good to happen.
Exactly.
So I'm not opening up my life to more opportunities. I'm opening up my life to more shortcomings and whatnot. So it may seem like bad luck, but nigga, you the one causing it.
You focusing on the glass half empty.
And I ain't gonna lie, when I was younger, that was like my thing.
Yeah, I was known for that in high school.
Like super, like always,
Mr.
like
pessimistic.
Oh
why
no, that's
me?
just like that's just his bad luck. Like,
Wow,
I
really?
Like, cause I would go around like, yo, damn, y'all have the worst luck. But then I reframed it. I'm like, yo, when you start learning about law of attraction, it's like, yo, one, like I could be pulling this energy to me because I already expect it's already in the front of my brain. Two, when you start to learn about like karma and stuff, it's like, all right, one, you're not your circumstances. So you can want something greater than where you're at in your circumstances, but these things might happen. But I got out like good and bad. So something might happen, but I reframe it like, oh, this happened, but look what it taught me.
Right.
So this could be a lesson that I needed in order for me to get to where I want to go.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like I have the greatest luck, and I could get shot or whatever. Like this is how it go for where I'm going. And that's just how I move off of just tunnel vision with just knowing myself.
Right.
So I know where I'm going. Can't nobody tell me. You get all right, whatever. But you can't move me off my pivot.
Yeah.
You can't. So I used to high school. I was known like, yeah, that nigga got bad luck, bro. I was just saying like, yo, why this happened with girls? My money, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, right.
It must be your luck, bro. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you right, bro. I just got bad luck.
Yeah, I got a black cloud over me.
Black cloud, like I don't know. I stopped saying that though. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I was kind of like that too. Like, why me? Why me? Like, why this happening? And it was nothing really bad. Like, my life has always been like, I never really been through a lot of, like, I'm super fortunate. Super. So, like, looking back, I'm like, why the fuck was I tripping like that? But then, like, once you get, like, a sense of gratitude, like, you may not get that bitch, but you alive right now, bro. like, okay, you didn't get those pair of sneakers, you missed the release, but you got sneakers though. You know what I'm saying? Feet, like, bro. You got a house to live in, your mom's alive, that's alive, like, whatever, all this extra shit you want that's not really a necessity, you got all you need. As long as you got clothing.
And you got time to always attain it.
Yeah. Exactly. You got clothing,
key too.
You healthy, your family good. All this extra shit is extra.
You got time and
everything's. This podcast is extra.
Yeah.
Long as I'm alive, these clothes is extra. This house is extra. I could have been in a 1-bedroom. Long as I'm alive and shit. Cause niggas ain't wake up today. Once you realize that, it's like, all right, that bad luck shit is trash.
Yeah.
It's good luck for life.
It's all in my mind.
Right. But I think that's it, man.
Yeah.
Yo, my guy.
Appreciate y'all.
I look forward
to
having this guy on.
We
gotta have him on more often.
That's why I told him, I was like, yo, whatever time I'm gonna make it happen. Like, I don't care what I gotta do.
We really get into the mind.
Yeah.
Because if y'all notice, like, towards the end, I wasn't really speaking because I'm literally, like, I'm just like, I'm just like, I'm
I feel
just
like that's how it is for all of us.
I don't want to talk. I'm just like this. This mental knows.
You're not the only one, man.
Yeah. And then even if I'm aware of what y'all saying, I'm never the type of person that's like, I know that already.
Yeah.
I'm a rehear it again.
Yeah.
What you said, I'm gonna rewrite it again. I wrote that the other day. I know we just about to end it, but I forgot what I saw. But it was a video. It was a video of something, and I wrote, for all the know-it-alls out there, it's okay to zip your mouth and actually listen to shit. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many folks that's like they know it all. It's like, all right, I know that already. Like when I was in neuromarketing, and then I was I had like mentors, and we go like seminars and whatnot. One thing they always said was like, and it's true, like the folks that think they know it all is like you kind of closing your mind to learning new shit. Because even though I may know that, I may not know every context. I may not know every variable.
Constituent of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm blinking my mind out of that shit. I understand what y'all saying, but I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
What you said, Abdalla? And we hear every day.
Yeah.
He repeating some of the same things. I still want to hear it because the first time you hear some shit, it ain't gonna stick the first time.
Yeah.
Maybe not for me. My memory is trash. I need to hear it. I'm like, what you said? I bet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just want to say that.
True.
I enjoyed this.
Yeah, same here.
enjoy this.
Always. Y'all keep doing y'all shit.
For sure.
Everybody check
you
this
as
shit
well.
out. You feel me? And
We're gonna put the link to all his shit in the bio.
Yeah.
Everything.
Making them hits.
Music.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
been
got
like
a lot of
Twitter,
music coming.
Everything.
For
Twitter.
so far this year.
For sure.
I got a lot of music coming, so I appreciate y'all giving me the platform to talk about that too, because sometimes that's needed, and sometimes people aren't even afforded that in music, like somebody like a platform to actually just talk about it, not just put music out. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate what y'all do, because it's like it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? It's off of like our own experiences, and it's from a place of truth, and y'all bring people up here out of respect for their context for what they do in their realm, and it's kind of like not just bringing somebody else into your world. Y'all like dive into other people's world.
We respect. Yeah. Exactly.
So that's always appreciated.
For sure. And there you have it. Thanks for listening.
Bang.